Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hollywood After Dark. It is, of course, the 23rd of February, 2022. World War III on the horizon. Everyone out there losing their minds. So let's not think about total world annihilation. Let's talk about fake asses in movie suits. Let's talk about fake ass scoopers and an agenda-driven attack on what could be the first billion-dollar film of 2022. This, of course, is Hollywood After Dark. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show tonight. I know I made a bit of a crack about it being a bit spicy out there. Perhaps a little bit dangerous if you are in Eastern Ukraine. And for that, my thoughts and my prayers and whatever goodwill I can personally send to the people of Ukraine, absolutely there. I don't believe I need to say it, but I'll just say it anyway. Fuck Putin. It's not a very bold stance. A lot of people out there believe that, but tonight, let's talk about some other stuff. Take people's minds off of everything involving world politics and talk about pop culture, where the wars are definitely fake, but the emotions are real. So let's have a little bit of fun tonight. Let's laugh and let's call out some people for some pretty terrible takes. So before we do that, let me just quickly remind you guys, Podio commentary is definitely coming back. I've been fumbling with the format a little bit, realizing I'm not even making this up, realizing my biggest problem is I overthink everything. I really do. I overthink stuff. So I'm like, okay, I got to talk about what you guys want me to talk about. Lots of requests for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because a lot of people are watching that and there's an interesting story behind it. So I'm going to watch that tonight after the show. I know it's going to be terrible, but I'll do a Podio commentary before the end of the week. So do check that out, youtube.com/Podio commentary, and then we can get on with that conversation about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, the movie that probably doesn't need to exist, but it does, and potentially with a slasher-filled future on Netflix, because I think the numbers are going kind of well. Don't forget, you can also call into our voicemail line, 323-305-4101. That's 323-305-4101. Keep it short, 30 seconds or less. Talk clear. Sometimes just if you need to rehearse it. I know some people are trying, but just keep it. The 30 seconds makes it a lot easier because that way, because I can't adjust anything when I play it back. So there's that. I'm just going to let you guys know what's going on with that. So 323-305-4101. So why don't we get into the guests, my panel tonight. Of course, we have got RJ and we have got Jimbo. Jimbo already out there with the booty.
Oh yeah.
It's spider booty season, apparently.
Spider booty.
Yeah.
Booty. You know what's really funny, speaking about that, right? So back in the 90s, before either one of you were conceived, there was an event. There was a very interesting pop culture event where Ellen DeGeneres was hosting some award ceremony. I forget what it was. It might have been the Emmys, or it might have been the Oscars. I don't remember, but she had made a joke about booty slaps. And so she was like, and booty slap, and booty slap, and booty slap. And it became this kind of like meme. It became a meme before memes were a thing. So much so that, like, you know how like people like to take stuff now and like they turn it into song, meme it on the internet?
Yes, yeah.
Radio stations were doing that back in the day. Like they were like getting their DJs to like remix it and put out an album. And even my local zoo, 101 or Z100 was the local zoo station. They actually put out a booty slap CD that was that I bought a long time. It was terrible, but it was like, it was just, they made an Ellen DeGeneres booty slap song and that was on there. And so for some reason, I'm just reminded of this gargantuan fat spider ass. That's clearly where he stores the webbing. If you catch my meaning,
that's where source of web fluid.
That's where it gets stored. But what's the receptacle of entry? Who knows? We're not judging here on Hollywood After Dark.
Jeez.
But hey, listen, representation matters. That's all I'm going to say on that. But
yeah. I want. Can we push for more thick superheroes, please?
Just more please thick. You want thick booties? Is that what you want?
Yeah,
you want to get the thick booty stuff? Possibly, man. I think it's a lot of people like it too. We've all seen like the Spider Woman You know, the old the image of her like in the pose on the rooftop
Oh,
with
yes,
like the
yes,
heart-shaped
yes,
booty
yes,
that
yes.
like
Yeah,
everybody hated.
yeah.
You know, I'm just saying it's like they might give us that one time, but I don't think it's going to be a woman who's behind we're looking at. I think it might be Tom Holland. Because I've seen those side photos, those profile shots of him in this, you know, because there was that meme going around for a while about comparing Tom Holland's butt in the suit to Brie Larson's butt in the suit, and they're like, this doesn't compute because she should have a butt, doesn't. He shouldn't have a butt, but does. A lot of confused individuals out there. A lot of you know, very 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 homophobic individuals were like, I don't know what I'm looking at here, but it's making my pants tight. It's a problem. Address your feelings.
Oh my God.
So it is what it is on that front, guys. We are definitely gonna have a fun time tonight talking about all this kind of shit.
Yeah, I think we all need a relaxing night talking about fake spider asses.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, it's not just fake spider booties. But real quick, Rational, I did see your super chat. We will get to that when we get to that segment. So thank you very much for that one. I am aware of it. I'm holding on to it until we get to the Batman conversation. But obviously, there's been a few other things today. Like that's not just like I know the conflict in Europe is horrible, but I like to point out another atrocity, another crime against humanity, whatever the fuck this thing is.
Oh my
God! The live action Fairly Odd Parents with a guy who looks like he probably drives a windowless van around school.
Why? Okay.
Why is that?
So hold on. So Jarbo, are you familiar with Fairly Odd Parents at all?
Nope.
Okay, that's fine. I will speak to this thing because I love this. I love the show. I love the show to a point, but then it got really bad, and then this got horrible and went on for way too long.
The Drake Bell one was awful.
Cartoons. They already did a live action one with Drake Bell, and obviously you can't do Drake Bell anymore because reasons. Why does Timmy Turner look like? Not only does he look like a gym teacher, but he looks like a gym teacher that snorted like a lot of cocaine, and he's about to have like a steroid-filled rage,
and just stares up female skirts.
He looks scary. He's not the main character though. Like this is like a guest star playing in for like maybe like one episode before he gives Cosmo and Wanda like new kids. But like, why is this a thing? Listen,
it's so bad.
Listen. I am excited for Paramount Plus. I feel like they got a lot of interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. This is not it though. This looks really bad. I watched the trailer. It looks really, really, really bad.
Dude, I don't think anyone.
I will say though, at least the fairies, at least Cosmo and Wanda, and everything else around the world is 2D animated. So that's a bright spot, I guess. They're not doing CG animated monstrosities to make them look photorealistic. So I guess that's a good thing.
Okay,
that's like one bright spot.
I don't know. I don't know.
The series should have ended with the Channel Chasers TV movie. It should have ended like when they had their first. I agree with Ryan. It should have ended with Channel Chasers. No more live actions. No more continuation. No more of that stupid dog. No more of that girl that he shared the fairies with. Please, no more. Just burn it all. Kill it with fire, please.
I mean, to be fair, this guy does look like he is less of a pedophile than Drake Bell actually is.
Oh my!
Sorry. Convicted of inappropriate communications with a minor, I believe, is what he actually had. So, and then, but yeah, I'll tell you this: did you like this? This is how you know Drake Bell was guilty. All right, he ran to Mexico and he changed his name.
He did, yeah.
He ran to Mexico, got married, changed his name, and is now like a Latin singer.
Yeah, no rational. I do remember the Timmy. Listen, I do remember the Timmy Jimmy Power Hour. I like that too. I'm saying the main series should have ended with Channel Chasers. You could still do the Timmy Jimmy Power Hour. I still love that stuff, but
I don't know. I don't watch any of this stuff. I just happen to see this floating around today.
This is like our childhood chart, bro. This is like because now we're getting into like the early 2000s nostalgia, late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
My generation is being appealed to via the streaming services, but this is not it. This looks bad.
Welcome to hell,
love
bitch.
This show, but I mean, I love this show growing up, but like, what have they done? This is not
It looks like a Dan Snyder show too, but it's not made by Dan Snyder. That's the other weird part too.
Hey, let's wait.
Well, you can tell because you can't see his feet.
That's what I was about to. Oh my! See, I blame RJ for that because I was trying to set it up.
Did you watch the trailer, though? Or did you see the image?
I just saw the image. I saw the
Okay.
trailer. I thought about downloading the trailer and watching the trailer.
Paramount would probably strike you down though.
Well, it's not so much that they'd strike me down. All right, because then I would grow more powerful than they could ever possibly imagine. However, I don't want to waste those 2 minutes of my life. I feel I could be far more productive doing different things
Exactly. That's how I
than
feel.
watching whatever the fuck this is. Because for one, I don't have Paramount Plus. Two, I don't intend on getting Paramount Plus
Not
for
at
this.
least.
Not South Park, Beavis and Butthead, that kind of stuff. Yeah, the adult stuff, sure. But this is not for me. This is when you realize they go, okay, we need to bring back a franchise. We need to cut our budget so it can't be animated. We have to go live action because it's cheaper, and we'll do slight
And
animations.
they're trying to appeal to like people who like the Dan Snyder live action sitcoms. That's what they're also trying to appeal to too.
Well, and there are a lot
but
that like
it's
the
a
Dan
bad
Snyder
version,
animated sitcom or
But it looks
live
like
action
But it
sitcoms.
looks like a bad ripoff though. It doesn't look like it's like anywhere near as fun as like a show like iCarly or Victorious though. Like it looks like it's a bad version.
I don't know what
cartoons
I mean. Yeah, I know those shows. I'm unfamiliar with whatever the hell they're about.
Basically, I'm saying it looks like a really bad ripoff of what a Dan Snyder Nickelodeon sitcom should be. That's my point.
Okay.
I miss good cartoons.
No, I don't believe Butch Hartman's involved with this. He left Nickelodeon, so I don't think he's involved.
Didn't he leave like in disgrace or something?
No, kinda. He left amicably. He wasn't really involved. Like Fairly Odd Parents kind of ended on like a giant whimper. No one really cared. And then he kind of went to go to create his Christian animated network. And then I don't know.
Oh, that's yeah. Like I did hear about
And
the
he got
Christian thing.
and he kind of like does art commissions now. And he kind of like went full villain a little bit. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Butch Hartman.
Well, I guess there's money in everything these days. Philosophical Pickle here does ask, who's worse, Dan Snyder or Zack Snyder?
Dan Snyder.
Dude, I mean, well, okay, so there's allegations against Dan Snyder. Like there are tons of allegations that people have made, oftentimes off of like random anonymous internet message boards that have never, ever, ever yielded any kind of investigation that we're aware of. Definitely no formal charges and no formal investigation into him. So it's one of those things where you just have to kind of take it and go, I don't know. Maybe you don't know. There's honest to God more evidence and more proof of like Roland Emmerich and fucking Bryan Singer's drug, fueled underage, like fuckboy parties than Dan Snyder. You know what I mean? Like there are, have you ever, you know that, right? Like, Roland Emmerich and Bryan Singer were like ran real deep back in the day. They threw these parties that were absolutely drug filled with a lot of
too?
Roland Emmerich. Oh
Wow.
yeah, dude. Yeah, no, he just got away from it. Like Bryan Singer got the brunt of it all, but like these were like co parties, because they'd bring young gay men to their house or whatever they threw this party at, and then there'd be a lot of cocaine, a lot of drugs, and yeah, that's out there. You can Google that. So it's
Wow.
that never gets like Roland Emmerich never gets talked about in that light. He is seriously, I don't know why. Bryan Singer always gets talked about in that light because there's been like lawsuits and allegations levied against him and whatnot. Maybe Emmerich doesn't like, he was just like a horny dude who was just hanging out with 18-year-old boys. Got no idea. But Singer was the one who was like more of the predator type. I don't know. But yeah, I remember reading about that a long time ago. You guys can Google that. Like it's a lot of weird shit. But Dan Snyder is a person who, recently he said, he recently came out with a profile, right? Like he's trying to make a comeback.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
I mean, he's not going into he's not doing the kid stuff. He's doing like more adult stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I have no idea what that's supposed to be, what that's supposed to do. I mean, after all those allegations and whatnot, like, are you ever really going to be able to find funding like that again?
True. Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see.
But basically, you're not going to be watching this.
No. And thankfully, my children are not old enough to want to watch this. Like today, for example, we got back from my daughter went back to school finally, and we get back home, and I laid on the couch to kind of like rest my eyes, and I put on Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventures on Netflix, and she watched that, and then she's all like, "Oh, I want to take like Barbie and Chelsea and Skipper and the other one, and like, oh, where are my friends, and because she likes Barbie and stuff, and I'm like, that's less creepy than freaking Fairly Odd Parents and this shit right here. It's actually,
this really hurt. This hurts my soul, man. It really does. As someone who like loves like those Nicktoons from like the 90s and 2000s, seeing this hurts my soul.
Yeah,
I can only hope that other stuff they're probably going to be doing with these IPs will be better than this.
I don't have a lot of faith.
Yeah. Hold on. All right.
There's a lot of properties that are coming back.
My thing is too is like, why not just make this an animated continuation? Why go live action? Is it really that much cheaper?
It's live action animation. Live action is far cheaper than animation, because animation requires it's just a lot cheaper, and so they can make this for a budget. They can shoot this on a soundstage. Again,
all the sets, by the way, look like a soundstage. All of them, very cheap.
It's all going to be it's all a 3-camera soundstage. It's like that's all it is. It's like a 3-camera production. It's old sitcom stuff. That's just what they do with it. But so this is the stuff nightmares are made of, and this is what's going to be fed to your children. So bring on the apocalypse. Let's move on. This is one that I meant to talk about last night.
Another potential Paramount goof up.
Because Paramount is, you know what? They're really kind of having an interesting time. I was excited with the announcement of Star Trek 4. I really enjoyed all the other films. I mean, so this is kind of crazy because we're finding out now that this announcement came to a surprise to the cast and their teams, saying that they weren't aware that another film was being announced, that their clients would be part of it, and that they'd be shooting it by the end of the year.
So now, basically, they had no clue this was happening.
Well, I don't know how much of that I actually believe, to be honest with you, because those kind of announcements, though, I think in this particular case, this announcement was made by J.J. Abrams during the earnings call. And so J.J. is not just, I'd like to think J.J. has more integrity than just to kind of, throw everything out there and like throw it out, like they would have to have a lot of stuff in place in order to be able to make this kind of announcement. So something, maybe it's like one team wasn't really too ready for it or whatever. But obviously, I don't think I know they gave it a release date of December of 2023.
I'll be surprised they made it.
I'm telling you right now, given everything that happened with the last 3 movies and even the proposed 4th film that ultimately went nowhere with S.J. Clarkson, I have a feeling this is going to be for Paramount Plus. I think they're going to, I think they're going to minimize the budget under $100 million, utilize the virtual soundstage as best they can, keep the budget as low as they can, and then put it on streaming. Because right now, Star Trek is, and I know people like Robert Meyer Burnett, and all those guys over there, with the Fandom Menace and stuff, right? Flat out, they don't believe that Star Trek is doing well on Paramount Plus, but we're on season 4 of Discovery, season 2 of Picard, season 3 of Lower Decks. Yeah, it's going to finish in season 3.
And Strange New Worlds in May.
And that's coming very soon. And then there's also the Prodigy show on Nickelodeon, which I believe is also on Paramount Plus.
Yep.
And everything else. And so it's like clearly in regards to...
They're invested in Star Trek.
And it's doing well on the streaming front. So obviously it makes sense if they're going to go back into the Kelvin timeline that they would probably want to find a way to put it theatrical. I think they might aim for theatrical, but be willing to drop it. Do you think the actors
would be okay doing a streaming movie though, considering that a lot of these actors have gotten more popular over time?
Well, I mean, okay, let's kind of break this down. For one, Anton Yelchin sadly passed away almost 6 years ago, so he doesn't count. Zoe Saldana, sure, she's in Avatar and she's in the Marvel movies, but she's also done other films that have been smaller, that have gone straight to streaming. They could diminish the role of Uhura a little bit in order to give her more time to go and film these other movies. But she's already done, she's going to be done with Guardians 3 by the end of the year, as well as a Christmas special and the other stuff they're doing, because they're kind of doing all of that right now. Avatar 2 and 3 have already been filmed. They won't start working on 4 and 5 until at least 2023. So there's time for that. so she could actually get in there to shoot it. Chris Pine recently just had a movie sell to Showtime. It's called The Contractor. I believe it pops up very soon, like in a couple weeks, if not next week, on Showtime and VOD, and I think possibly limited theatrical run. And that just got sold. Simon Pegg was just in Buck Fucking Wild, you know, and the next thing, so he did his voice for the shitty ass straight to DVD or straight to, you know, streaming Ice Age movie that just came out a couple weeks ago. Carl Urban hasn't been in much recently. That's true. We lost RJ for a second. He'll probably come back. You know, Carl Urban hasn't done much in a while, and all everyone wants out of him is another Dredd film. And John Cho, you know, just got his show booted. Cowboy Bebop just got straight up yeeted. So obviously we're in a situation where these guys could totally be doing streaming stuff. Now the Batman here asks, what about Zachary Quinto? Zachary Quinto has no problem with doing all that stuff, right? Like he's been on TV, he's done all that kind of stuff. He doesn't really care. So there's everything. All right, sorry. I was wrong. He's in The Boys. My bad, you guys. I'm sorry. I forgot about The Boys. I was thinking like theatrical. I know.
What?
I know I fucked up. That's my bad.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's my bad. Fuck you. That's my bad. Obviously, I want The Boys to come back real bad. All right, Billy the Butcher, great character. All right, I just assume that Carl Urban is just Billy the Butcher at this point, calling everybody a cunt. So there's that. Yeah, The Boys. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's not. There's that. So anyway, according to RJ, his internet got shut off. He'll be back momentarily. You know, keep in mind that he lives in an area where, you know, it's like if I'm gonna summarize the area I believe RJ lives in based upon my extremely prejudicial view of the United States, it's kind of like a down, you know?
Wow.
A little bit backwards country down there in the South, you know, where they prefer to burn books rather than read them. Not that RJ is of the type. RJ is not of the type. He's a very smart individual who rises above the environment of which he has been raised. So good on RJ and solid parental upbringing. You know what I mean? His parents did a bang up job on that guy. So anyway, he'll be back hopefully in a couple minutes.
I don't know if you'll be back now. I don't know if
he'll be back. No. H-Bart's here for $2. Says RJ got nuked. RJ was worried about that because someone had posted a potential target list for the United States,
yeah,
like where you could get hit with a nuclear bomb. And then he's like, I'm right there at a hot spot. And then I looked and I'm like, yeah, so am I. Like, what's your point?
Everyone's
like, you know,
in a hot spot, but like
every freaking you know, every person out there who lives near a populated area, which is like literally like 95% of the country, you know, like again, the people in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, the ones that are really, you know, in Kentucky and shit, they're fine. They'll emerge 200 years later, drunk as shit on their own shine and be like, what's going on? I got no idea. How come everyone's glowing in the dark? Why does that one there look like a vampire?
Why does that person look like Polka Dot Man?
Oh, everyone's all mad. Like, because I made fun of the American South.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Oh my God. I'm making fun of white people because I'm white. I'm like 99%. I can make fun of my own. You can't make fun of me. No, I'm kidding. I don't care. Jesus Christ. You guys are all sorts of calm it, you know, calm thy tits.
There's I mean, come on. Can we have a good laugh? It's been a long
night. Let's laugh at.
Gosh, man.
Let's laugh at potential nuclear annihilation, shall we?
I think that's forgetting about The Boys.
Yeah, right there. That's my distraction. I'm just going to completely like disparage an entire bottom rung of the country, right? Just like, you know, everyone near Florida is just going to get made fun of by me. And that's okay. Let's see. Frosty says, white on white crime. Jarbo is a menace. It's probably. Dalton here says, how dare Jarbo have a sense of humor? Kinda. Kinda, yeah.
Sick.
But Taylor here is like, I'm in San Diego, populated military area. Even, yeah, I know, man. I live there too. I know about the naval base and MCRD and of course Camp Pendleton and all that jazz, right? I know all
They're
that.
about to have a light show because of Area 51. They're about to unleash it's like 40, 50 years worth of technology.
That's what I want to
waiting
see,
in
though. But
there.
that's what I want to see. I
Bro.
want to see Area 51 finally get the credit it deserves as being like the last bastion for safety in the United States, right? I
I
want that
mean,
scene from Independence Day to be real, where a whole bunch of homies in like motorhomes and campers, in this case, it'd probably be like Priuses and Teslas, racing across the desert, breaking down the gates of Area 51. Like, we're safe here in the desert. They've already done nuclear tests here. No one's going to try that shit again. We good.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the alien shit to start busting out, like them just like light yearing a UFO over to Russia. I'm just waiting for that shit. But like, nah. But
I always see that
overall,
coming out of Russia, man.
I mean,
I always see that coming. You always see like meteor videos of like meteorites like falling out of the sky in Russia.
yeah, I mean, I don't want any conflict, but like Area 51, what you got? What you got?
Yeah, I think. Hey, what's up, RJ? So
I
you're alive.
Yeah, I apologize for that. For whatever reason, okay. First off, it said it wasn't because I have fiber optic internet from AT&T,
Oh god,
so
it's
it's
so
like,
bad.
oh, the
RJ.
optical connection might not be working. I'm like, oh,
RJ,
okay.
I
And
think
then it
it
said,
happened to
oh,
me.
broadband service is not available. I'm like, okay. And then my brother messages me. It's like, yeah, I might have gotten this DDoS. There's like some weird people I play with on Xbox tonight. I'm like, are you serious? Like, and I just randomly came back on. So I have no clue.
No,
what's going on.
RJ, I think you're having the same issues that I had like a week or two ago that I'm still dealing with. So AT&T is redoing and like trying to roll out a new service, but it's having a lot of issues with current fiber optics members and it's in certain areas. Because I called out a text person last week. They come fix this, and there's nothing they could do because AT&T, and they're losing a lot of money because of this. They're losing $260 per person.
By the
sent out to
way, I
them.
just want to say
So
something,
might be them.
Charbo. I hope you realize I was born in Las Vegas and lived there for most of my life. I didn't grow up in the Deep South.
Yo, you see?
Yeah, but you're in the deep south now.
Yeah, doesn't mean anything. I'm not influenced by that.
All right. Well, as long as you admit it.
All right, RJ, we're watching you though.
I thought
it's less banjo played, more incest. Come on now.
Whoa!
Is that why? Is that why
RJ.
Brazzers and all those guys? That would make sense. The Bible Belt has the craziest stuff they look up on the internet. Like
mostly
when
black,
sorry.
mostly ebony.
What?
A lot of that, yeah. A lot of blacked.com is really popular in that part of it. Well, I'm just saying, like, you go to the Bible Belt and you think of all these very like repressed Christians and religious folk, and then you look at like their porn history, and it's literally some of the most like depraved shit. You're like, oh, that makes sense. It kind of makes sense. I'm like not knocking it. Like everyone's got their kinks and stuff. By the way, HWAD's here for $2. Says, oh shit, RJ survived the nuke.
Okay, and by the way, just for clarification, I did see the map, but I was informed that map is outdated and it's nowhere near that bad in terms of nuclear strike sites. So,
Man, it's nowhere that bad. It's just way worse.
I mean, at this point, like, I'm just gonna say it. The technology is probably able to like
it'd probably be a cyber attack anyway.
Well, yeah, cyber. I wouldn't be surprised if like Amazon or whatever, like, like has trouble or if we're not able, like if Pornhub goes down, then society is lost. I know that it's all good.
Well, what's that
I'm not able to beat my meat in a nuclear apocalypse. I'll be upset.
What's that one website everybody uses, like AWS, like the connector?
Amazon Web Services. Web Services. Yeah. Let's see here. Jess here says, I live in Miami, Florida. Technically, the more north I go, the more south it gets. That's very true. It's very true.
But back to the Star Trek thing. I missed out on that. No, I was just going to say, like, I could see it being streaming. I'd be very surprised though. I feel like they want it to be theatrical because they need some theatrical big IP movies. Just generally box office revenue. I could be wrong though. I feel like the stars have gotten bigger though, so maybe they would allocate the resources to do a big budget movie.
Potentially. I think it's
but the last movie didn't do very well though, so I could see it going either way.
Well, that's where I'm wondering also if its release date of being in July when it came out, because those are kind of hit or miss, and because they also released it on the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. I don't believe Star Trek's predominant fan base is in theaters. I think their fan base is on streaming, and I think is on TV. I know the movies have done well enough, but I think now with the way that the TV shows are able to kind of incorporate those themes and do it as a serialized show is proving to be more successful and probably more financially beneficial in the long run. Also, because we're talking about Paramount Plus, I did miss this one from RJ. Thank you, buddy. Or from H Barts here for $5. Thanks, man. I am all over the place. It's been a long day. 1883 on Paramount Plus is one of the best TV shows of the year.
Great.
I've heard
that's a
it.
prequel to Yellowstone, right?
Yes, it's a prequel to Yellowstone. Yes.
It's so good. It's about Dutton Ranch and all that, but it's such a great show. I was actually kind of like, that show they're just gonna try to, this is gonna be an obvious cash grab and it's just gonna be kind of dog shit, but no, it's actually really good, and I want to see more of it.
Yeah, real quick here, Megapotastic said Star Trek has to go big screen. It does not. It simply doesn't. Most of us grew up watching it, like most of the people, the younger audience now would have grown up watching it, not on the big screen. The last movies, like the 2009 film, did pretty well, even though it opened in like May of 2009, which it did all right for that month. Even though it had a very short IMAX run because of, I want to say, like Transformers 2 came out like the following week and booted it out of IMAX. And then number 2, or Into Darkness, pissed off a lot of people. That came out again May 2013. And then 3 years later for Beyond, it ended up screwing up too. So I disagree with you on that one. But that's all right, buddy. Thank you. But HBards for $5, man, does ask, and we're going to kind of, I guess, we'll kind of look over on this thing real quick. It says, what are your honest thoughts on Ukraine? I don't think it will be World War III, but there will be a war.
Well, Putin already declared war, basically. I mean, that's basically what's going on. So it's a hostile takeover. It's basically a war.
He's cutting off transportation to the capital. They took over, they bombed an airport. I can't remember the exact location, but they're cutting off transport to the capital. So they're basically doing what you need to do in order to take over and cut all communication and just kind of...
It's a hostile invasion. I mean, it's basically a war already, for the most part. I mean, it's already a war.
Very much yeah. But the thing is I was listening at Spaces you sent in one of our groups, RJ, and they're talking about how Russia is going to do, like, besides this sanctions, that they're still going to be doing well economically and stuff like that, because obviously they got the pipeline and stuff like that. And
of course, it's all about the oil. It's all about everything else.
And plus, they don't have a lot of... They're making double the money now. And also, what is it? I think one of the persons, like, it was a senator saying, because I'm like, it was kind of weird seeing all these people check marks in one spaces, but one person was saying that they have such a low debt rate that really the sanctions won't do much and won't cripple their economy. So they're going to still be pulling in double the money that they usually would be making. So they're benefiting. But I mean, I obviously there's going to be some conflict going on, but my hope is that everything could be handled without nuclear weapons, because obviously that's...
Well, we'll see. At the end of the day, this is what I'll say. A lot of innocent people are going to end up dying, and that's awful. So
yeah. Well, so here's how I see it. Like, I remember, I understand how you guys feel about this, because I remember when 9/11 happened, and I was roughly around the same age. I'm not comparing this to 9/11. I'm talking just like the general feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
of like the uncertainty of it. The uncertainty of what's to come.
The panic and just a scared feeling, like you don't know what's happening. It's just so much going on. Yeah.
And this is not the same thing by any metric. And I just want to make that absolutely abundantly clear. But when that day that it happened, my friend Brian and I, Brian is the friend of mine who recently passed away. We were going to school that day. School was obviously closed. He decided to go get a tattoo. He got an Ozzy Osbourne tattoo on his ankle that day. And as that was over and we were outside letting it like set, we were smoking a cigarette and we're talking, and I was 19, he was 18. And we were talking about the potentiality of a draft. of like, oh shit, like this could be it. This could be what takes us into the next thing. This could be, you know, the next world war. We're draft age to go to war, you know, like now I'm 39, so, you know, almost 40, so I won't be drafted, but there's a lot of young people that could be. And as you guys know, every male over the age of 18 in the United States has to register for the draft through selective services. You have to do it. It is the law. So it's like, that's one of those things where, again, that's kind of freaky if you're a dude. This won't come to that, right? I think we're beyond the concept of a world war over Russia taking over a couple of Eastern Ukrainian states.
They just,
all right,
he just wants to expand his
he wants, dude, this is a big
yeah.
dick moment. This is a dick measuring moment, right? Putin is stepping down. He's not seeking re-election in 2025, right? Or 2024, I think. So it's like he's not seeking re-election. This is a last power grab move on his part. He wants to restore the Russian Federation. He wants to go back to the way Soviet Russia used to be. And the Russian economy is on the verge of collapse. It really is. Like, it's not doing well. So Putin, this is like Putin's last stand in my mind. I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I view it. And so I think it's going to be more of a cyber attack because he's very savvy on the espionage tactics. Clearly propaganda. You've got right wingers like Tucker Carlson that are more or less coming out and saying like they want to fucking suck his dick over this. And it's really weird. Republicans are outright super fucking thrilled about what's going on. It makes no sense. It's like,
for real. Hold up.
Yes.
Have you not seen Tucker Carlson clips about this? Yeah, he's basically.
I don't watch that,
dude.
shit.
Like,
I mean,
if you go on Twitter and you just look up Tucker Carlson, you will find clips of him basically like acting
anybody
like
who stands by a fascist moron like Putin is a fucking idiot.
Is this like recent stuff, or is this like?
Yes, like we're talking like last night and today.
Yeah,
man.
we're talking like the last couple of days.
Dude, that's fucked. I mean, why am I not surprised? But I mean,
it is what it is. Yeah,
I don't watch shit like that because I mean, honestly, that and CNN are basically the same. They just like try to appeal to their audiences, and I don't watch that shit. I watch.
Yeah,
like,
well, it's a lot of craziness. It's a lot of craziness. Yeah. HWAD's here for $5. They said watch No Fuckers on YouTube. He is Russian and said this is hurting their own people. It absolutely is. It absolutely, it is. And this could look. I mean, you know, Ukraine is an ally to the United States. We have a lot of dealings with them. And we have NATO and the UN and everything. They're going to do what they're going to do. At the meantime, it's just, this is one of those things where this situation is going to get a little crazy. And there are people out there that are going to have some really hot takes that you're going to groan at. And you know what? There's one of them that's actually getting a lot of shit today. I thought it was pretty funny. Lay Cinephiles says, breaking, Putin confirms Russia will stand down if Warner Brothers restores the Snyderverse.
God damn it, Listenophiles. Why?
He got bullied into taking this one down, by the way.
I mean, like,
he got bullied.
There's a time and place for everything, man.
It's too soon, dude. It's like, it's way too soon. Like, I'll be honest, I like really dark humor, but like, bro, like, this shit is literally just starting to pop off.
This was him. This was him today. This was me 2 days ago. You know, I bet Putin would, or yesterday, I bet Putin would hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I said this yesterday. He said this today, and he gets bullied, and I get like,
well, I mean, it's just a difference of what's going on. I mean,
is that what happened? Like,
no. Okay, I'll be honest. Okay, Jarbo, you did it at the right time. This guy, because obviously nothing was going on. It's just like all this stuff, like assuming stuff's gonna start, you know, shit's gonna hit the fan. But then like this person posts it as shit's hitting the fan right now, and people are getting bombed right now. So it's like two different things. But I mean, shit.
Oh my God. Apparently, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers tweeted out an hour ago, the world was a better and safer place with Trump as president. This is an undeniable fact. Is it because he swallow Putin's load?
Oh, Lord. Oh,
hold on. Because it's true. I said, okay, so I responded, is it because he'd swallow Putin's load without question? Trump was a I don't want to get into it. This is not the place for that. Sorry, Fandom NSL send me a message on the side there. Just kind of like, oh my God. And again, like even Jimbo, the thing you posted in the DM group, the U.S. military fake account says checking people's Call of Duty stats to see who to draft for World War III. I mean, people are clearly going to joke about this. They're clearly going to kid about this kind of stuff. Frost Family here says we need a Boulder Talk Radio about this. We might. I might. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow or something like that. But we'll definitely see what's going on. Anyway, look, I obviously want things to de-escalate, and I don't want anyone to get it. Now, HWAD's here for $5. Thank you, man. It says this could kill the current Russian regime. Also, Taiwan is probably next. I did see Taiwan trending. I didn't look into why Taiwan was trending. I'm assuming it has to probably do with the fact that China might, China wants to come on in and take over Taiwan? Because I know they want that China number.
If that happens, that won't be good at all.
Look, if that happens, you won't hear a fucking peep out of the goddamn media. John Cena will just like, no, I'm not going to say a thing. Never mind all the goodwill.
This is all because of John Cena.
It's all because of John Cena. Yeah, John Cena is the reason why we're losing. Taiwan is going to go to China. But no, Taiwan is probably next. And I mean, I don't like any of this stuff. I don't like any of this shit.
I hate
this. The watcher here says, please, Matt, let's not talk politics. Please don't. Politics and Snyder built things. I'm tired of talking about them. I mean, we're trying to make jokes. We're trying to make jokes about it. I get it.
We're getting to the spider booty soon.
We're getting to the spot. Yeah, we're getting in there. But there's a couple. There's one more thing to talk about here. Right?
To you guys in a second. It's all right.
Yeah.
Booty will be shown.
So, we've got Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Defenders, and Punisher will all release on March 16th. On Disney Plus in Canada. Now we don't know if this is going to be.
That's the big indication in Canada. There was an email going around people saying Disney Plus, but it was for the Canadian service, not the United States version.
Yeah, and what that means though is that it's going to come to Hulu then here in the States.
Probably, yeah. It's probably gonna
Which is fine. Let it come to Hulu.
I don't want to buy it.
People want it all just on one place, though.
Dude, well, if you wait a year, it's all going to be under one service, and you can already right now get the bundle pack for like I think
I have the bundle. Yeah, the bundle.
$13 a month.
I have it all, but I just don't want to have to spend extra money on Hulu to get.
Wait, do you have the bundle pass?
No, I get Hulu through Spotify, but I don't. I have the bundle. I mean,
why would you get Hulu through Spotify?
That's kind of a weird one, to be fair.
It's a weird one, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, otherwise, I don't really care for Hulu. So, I mean,
there's good stuff on. I'll tell you this though: Hulu's kid-based content is terrible. Like their stuff for kids is bad.
Was it just simply Cocomelons?
It's no. Well, I don't know if they have that there. They have a lot of really them and Amazon have I think. Well, Amazon has got Peppa Pig and a bunch of other little things that are aimed for kids. And but Hulu doesn't, I think when I was on Hulu, they had what's that kid, that Ryan kid with the toys?
Oh,
the one I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the Amazing Ryan, I think.
Yeah, that little kid, right? That little kid whose parents exploit the ever-living fuck out of him. Like he's a fucking factory worker. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, it's go look at, I mean, my God, there's I guarantee you down the road, child labor laws will be broken. That's my opinion on that one. Not an accusation, speculation. No, but I've gone to Walmart and there's been his cereal has been at Walmart,
cereals, toys. He has a video game.
Yeah. Right. And but I watched one of his videos and it was literally an ad for fucking Hardee's. It was an ad for Yeah. They built a little mini Hardee's drive-through window in his house, and Ryan played the Hardee's the drive-through employee, and his dad came through and is all hi, I would like to get a Ryan's Toy World Happy Meal sort of thing, because they had a deal with Hardee's to put out toys with this this fucking 6-year-old kid's face on it. And I'm watching.
They make a lot of money, dude.
And they make a lot of money off that stuff. And it's it's
the most famous kid in the world.
Well, they also didn't really market as it being an advertisement, which really bothered me as a parent. I'm what the fuck is this shit? There's issues there with that, and eventually I think some stuff's going to come out with that, But it's kind of all the craziness on that one. But anyway,
going to Hulu is fine. Like I said, I know I would like it to be in all one location, but considering Comcast Universal gave up their rights to Hulu, that's pretty much going to happen anyway. It's all going to be in one probably central app. Like they'll probably build in Hulu into the Disney Plus app, so it's not too big a deal, honestly. It's gonna be.
There's I don't know, man. I hate all that shit, but for like all the kid stuff. But sorry, I got a DM. I got distracted for a second. Cause I got a couple DMs. One I got responded to by the person I was waiting to respond.
Oh, awesome.
So we got that information coming up here in a minute, and then so I kind of missed out. But the thing is, though, like, look, obviously, there was a couple things. The next little news bit I want to cover, I think, ties into this. But obviously, Disney or Kevin Feige or whatever, they're aware of the popularity of these shows. Like when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and we got confirmation that Charlie Cox was in it. Daredevil shot to like number 1 on Netflix. It fucking skyrocketed, and it was there for like a long ass time because so many people were like rewatching it because seeing that again. And even though it was a small little cameo, it was a great scene. There's obviously a lot of love for the character. Same with Jessica Jones. The first season is really, really good. Second and third,
after that,
quality kind of dips. I actually never finished the third
Luke
season.
Cage, sadly.
No. You are so wrong. Season 2 of Luke Cage was far greater than season 1.
Mahershala Ali, dude.
But Mahershala,
Daredevil and Punisher.
Mahershala, God damn it.
Mahershala Ali.
Thank you. Right. I know how to say his name. Cottonmouth. So I'll say that. Was an excellent character who died halfway through season 1. And then we got fucking Diamondback, who was a god awful villain. He was terrible. He just dragged down the remainder of that season.
One half of a good season that was better than all season 2 though.
No. Hell no, dude. Bushmaster was amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. Like season 2 of Luke Cage was legit. Like legitimately good.
Well, then you have Iron Fist. The black sheep of the family.
I stand Finn Jones. All right. I will admit I stand Finn Jones, and I still do. And I hope they bring him back. I know they won't, but I stand Finn Jones. I think Scott Buck was a terrible choice. I think Scott Buck tanked two brands.
Yeah, Scott Buck royally fucked 2 Marvel shows.
We don't talk about the Inhumans ever. But then
apparently, my God, I forgot about that.
Apparently,
show.
There's a rumor now where like fucking Anson Mount is back as Black Bolt in Doctor Strange 2, and it's
which
like,
I believe.
No.
I believe that.
I mean, he doesn't have a talking role. He's just going to sit there and look menacingly on the throne and shit. Like, what's up, Black Bolt? Okay, where's Medusa? She grow her hair back yet? Nope. Fuck off then.
No, he's a good actor though. He could play a better if they just ignore
he's great. I love
shows.
I'm not knocking. Dude, have you seen Hell on Wheels? Like Hell on Wheels is
so good,
so fucking good, man. I love Hell on Wheels.
The last season though, dude, the last season of Hell on Wheels, bro, that was a real tear jerker.
Well, here's the thing with that too. The Swede in Hell on Wheels was Peacemaker. That wasn't Peacemaker, and I'm all like, oh hell yeah, but we barely. That was the one thing they fucked up on by not having a lot
of stuff though. I mean,
yeah, but like they need to bring him back as a villain. Like they need to bring him back as a. He played such a great villain in Hell on Wheels,
dude.
So they need to bring him back.
Every time I see him in that role, like in any role, I just think of Hell on Wheels and him playing the Swede.
One of the guys from Hell on Wheels was in Peacemaker.
Yeah, he was
the bad guy.
Yeah, that Murr brought in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who impersonated the sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was the Swede. He
was really good in Hell on Wheels.
He was a great villain. Like I loved how like he just became so obsessed with Anson Mount's character as time went on, and then like he tried like taking over the Mormons and like then like doing this. I mean, it was so fucking wild, man. Like
so creepy too. He really played into that character.
Well, and I'll tell you this though, the end of his character, because everyone just calls him the Swede, throughout the show, and like all he wanted was his name to be known. And then like at the end when he was like, my name is Gunderson, as right before he gets fucking killed, I actually really felt bad for him in that moment. Like I'm watching it, I look at my girlfriend, like I feel pity for him because like
I didn't feel pity at all.
But also I'm glad that he was also a fucking cocksucker who needed to die. But I still felt like like he just kind of got on this bad pathway and shit. And I don't know, man. Like
I don't know,
dude, that show is lit. If you haven't seen that show,
Mount's character though, like the way it ends, and the whole was it like wasn't in the. I know it was some. He was with some Asian chick at the final season. It
Spoiler
was really
alert
weird.
for Hell on Wheels.
I mean, that show's been out for such a
she's
long
a Chinese.
time.
Yeah, she is a Chinese immigrant who he falls in love with and
Well,
everything.
maybe I want to watch it, Jimbo. Jeez.
You should watch it.
Well, you should watch
absolutely watch it. It's an AMC show. It's like what 13 episodes a season. It's really good.
Yeah, I think it's in like 5 seasons.
Yeah. You get to like it gets a little wonky towards the end with some of like the subplots with other characters
Well,
and
Anson Mount's character kind of.
but Anson Mount's great. If you watched Cole Meany from O'Brien from TNG and DS9, he's in it. He's like almost in every episode. The Lady Maeve, right, from The Boys, that actress.
Yes. Oh my god.
She's in it in the first
Oh
season.
my gosh.
Fucking Common, the rapper Common, is in like the first 2 seasons.
He's really good in that.
He's
show
really
as well.
solid. Yeah, he's a good actor. Like I like Common quite a bit. So like Hell on, it's good. It's good television.
It's so good. It's about the
That
railroad
and
them
Justified. If you haven't seen Justified, man, if you haven't seen that, you need to watch. You need to watch Justified.
A second that motion.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you know how like the other day it was said that Walter Goggins was cast in fucking Fallout show.
Yes.
And like everyone was losing their shit. Like Walter Goggins is an amazing actor on his own. The 5 seasons of Justified that he's in is like fucking amazing. And then they even did the series finale of that show had a callback that I didn't think they were going to pull off because I always feel they always leave those on the table, and it did it, and it was wonderful. And Justified. If you've seen,
which is coming back, by the way.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. Oh, apparently it's 6 seasons of Hell on Wheels,
Really?
and Common is in the first 4. I thought he was only in the first 2, but all right, cool.
He got as a character. I know he was in there a lot because there's a lot of scenes. 'Cause, I mean, he had like the whole relationship arc and stuff like that with the.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my! It's in the first season. It just continues. Don't worry.
Just
about
watch the fucking shows anyway.
I
So these Marvel shows asking the question: are these canon? That is absolutely a yes. At this point, I'm going to argue it.
Well, they're going to cherry pick what they want to be canon, I would say.
Well, yeah, there's
the Punisher.
The Punisher.
I think Jessica Jones and Daredevil will be canon, kinda, to where they did happen. They just kind of like to move forward, though. The Iron Fist and Luke Cage stuff is where things get a little dicey, and I think Punisher as well, because I'm starting to think that Punisher will not be making his way into live action.
I know because they like to stick with PG-13, and Punisher was way beyond.
No, it's not because of that. It's because of the controversy with the logo, and I feel like Marvel as a publisher
that controversy is so fucking overblown.
Bullshit.
It's so overblown.
I'm telling you what people have been hearing. Matt, they are moving away from the character.
I think
from what's been described internally, they are kind of like they don't want to touch the
But who
right
is
now.
saying this? Who is saying this?
I talked to Casey Walsh about this.
Listen, I know you and Kay didn't like Casey. I've talked to Casey. But again, grain of salt that shit.
No,
because
of course.
He even said tonight when he was going off about Mikey, and we'll get to Mikey here in a few. But he even said he's like people come after me for things I said. He's like I don't even remember certain things that I say. And so that's the whole thing with Casey Walsh you have to like look at. And this is my biggest complaint with him is he does not he does not think before he speaks. He just fires shit off. So it takes so you have to be really careful with like what you believe on him. I don't know if Geeks Worldwide is that. I mean, I know they're connected enough because Ty works for them and Ty gets from Pop Culture Corner, he gets like he's seen shit early.
Well, it's not just him, I would say. I mean, there's other people who've been like, but the situation's fluid. That's the thing. I remember even Daniel RPK was talking about that they might not be using Punisher for a while because of what's been going on.
I would be,
but the situation's
sad
very fluid. That's the thing.
I
think right now they have a certain mindset, but I think things can change. Obviously, I just don't think they're using it right now.
That show is so good, though. That's the thing. Like their logo is not even like the biggest thing. I mean, shit. How many times does they actually wear that suit of armor throughout both seasons? It's relatively few compared to when he's just wearing casual clothes.
Like I said, I want to see more Punisher. I want to see more Punisher. I'm just saying, I'm not sure they have an idea how they want to handle
it. Bro.
Well, I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think they know how to handle the character right now from a content standpoint. Where do you put him? How do you fit him in? That's the question that they ask themselves.
I mean, they fit him perfectly well with Daredevil. I mean, and they just threw Daredevil. And
yes, but they want
so
Daredevil.
many
Well,
ways.
no. Here's what you have to realize: they want Daredevil and some of these characters to connect more to the overall MCU. The next time we see Daredevil is going to be in She-Hulk, and She-Hulk connects to the movies. They want Daredevil and some of these characters in the movies. What do you do?
Punisher operates low key. Punisher has his place in there. Obviously, I mean, New York obviously is like a giant hotbed for superheroes. Looking at Daredevil and all that stuff, and Spider-Man, but it's like the Punisher operates on a low. Like, look at the final like scene that we get with Punisher. It's him dealing with low rate gangs off the street. It's like,
no, of course. I mean, you could like make it to where he exists, but you never really none of the other characters acknowledge him. I mean, there's ways you can get around it. I'm just saying that's the question that what I'm saying is that there's a lot of questions as to what they do with them, and I don't think they have an answer for that just yet. It's going to take a while. I think he'll probably be the last one you see show up, because I feel like he's the hardest one to integrate into the MCU that we know.
I get that, and plus, like, I mean, they were probably gonna have to. I mean, Punisher's probably gonna be one of the harder people to figure out because he's just so brutal and violent. I mean, shit, look at the gym scene with the Russians. I mean, he uses dumbbells and beats people. I mean, but like I get that on like with that type of aspect, but I mean,
and I'm not just to clarify, I am not anti-Punisher. I want to see the character continue. I want to see. I'm just from a logistical standpoint, from a business perspective about what kind of company Disney is.
Yeah.
Currently,
here's the thing with that though, right? But you put it on put it on fucking FX and you let it be. Like they bought Fox. They
connect it though. Do you connect it?
Yes, you connect it. You absolutely. It's already connected. So there's literally no way that people aren't going to believe that it's connected.
Spider-Man: No Way Home and
no. What I'm saying is like the Punisher show. What I'm trying to say is sure the Punisher show can acknowledge the MCU at large, but does the MCU at large outside of that one individual Punisher show acknowledge that Frank Castle exists? Do you see Frank Castle show up in team up movies? Do you see this or that?
No, I don't. Look, I think they're going to keep him pretty pocketed, but that's okay. They could have him be, look, HBAR's here makes a great point. Put him with Moon Knight. Put him with Moon Knight. Like, put him with the more violent characters. Like, that's the whole fucking point of the Punisher.
Now get Ghost Rider.
Put him with Ghost Rider. Put him with Mobius. Put him with fucking Blade. Whatever, man. Like, it doesn't matter.
Put him with the characters that match each other's kind of style.
And I mean, listen, that could work. Like I said, I think the issue that they find themselves is I think they're just questioning how to integrate him. That's why I feel like he's going to be put on the back burner for a little bit, simply so they can get the other characters up and running first. Then they'll worry about him. Well, that's why Daredevil's probably first, then Jessica Jones, and they'll probably worry about Luke Cage and Iron Fist. That's going to be another debacle because I don't think they're going to.
Was Jessica Jones really the second most popular? Like, was she one of the more popular characters?
Yes. For Netflix viewers and from a production and like quality standpoint, they from what was described, Feige loved Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Kristen Ritter the most out of the cast that they did for Netflix. Those are the three he really liked and clicked with.
Obviously, we got Kingpin
and John Bernthal's Punisher. Yes, him too. That was what the rumors going around were. So, like I said, Charlie and Christian Ritter are probably the ones you're going to see come back the quickest. Luke Cage, I don't know. I think you should bring Mike Coulter back. Finn Jones, I think they're going to recast probably with an Asian actor because that's what they're doing in the comics right now. Probably just to avoid the controversy and just do something completely different. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They got to worry about Luke Cage and Iron Fist first before they can even start to worry about what they do with Punisher. So.
Well, I think, I agree with you on that one there, but I still think Punisher is going to come back because that the Punisher brand is still very popular, and a lot of people really love it. They love Bernthal in the role. My
favorite.
I know there's like the whole controversy with and I even think that particular controversy is overblown. Most people don't know about it or they don't talk about it. And so it's not going to be if they bring, I haven't seen anyone say cancel the Punisher show on Netflix because it's got the logo. And if anyone came out there and tried to make that argument, we would all literally laugh in their fucking face. By the way, we have 100 people watching right now. If you guys haven't already, please slap the like, beat it with a stick.
Slap it with your spider booty.
Slap it with your spider booty. But also going on, okay, no, hold. I know, sorry, that there was a super chat that I want to get to from All right. Well, real quick. Okay, sorry. This the first one first. I saw this one here. I'll get to Ryan's here in a second. All right. H Bart's here says there is no Iron Fist controversy, only a loud minority.
I
Well,
wish that was true, but it's not.
well, it's no. It's again. Here's the thing. I think people who read comics need to realize that like they're kind of on their own island, right? They're kind of in their own island. It's yeah. You read the quote unquote source material, but that doesn't necessarily get translated to whatever we see. The vast
Right.
majority of people
Source
who spend their
material
money
says
on this,
Danny Rand needs to be a white guy, but they're probably not going to do that.
they're probably going to do. I think there's another character that could be that whatever. But
Well,
it's
even in
like
the comics right now, they're introducing a new Iron Fist taking over the role, and he's an Asian character. So,
yeah, and they could put him. They could put him with Shang-Chi, and they could even have Shang-Chi be technically like the new kind of Iron Fist type character, and just leave Danny Rand in the dust, and that would be okay. I like the Danny Rand character, but it's kind of like we've seen like that billionaire playboy type attitude before, and it's been done multiple times, and like it worked for what it worked for, and that's okay. Bring back Mike Coulter as Luke Cage 100%. Bring back.
I mean, I don't see any reason not to bring him back.
There's I think they should bring all of them back because I liked all of them. But what they need to do above all else is they need to bring in somebody who understands television to Marvel Studios. They've been so focused on like we've talked about this before. The pacing of some of these shows is a bit of an issue, and they
Six
need
episodes,
to like
horrible.
they need to really kind of work it out. And I'm hoping Moon Knight kind of like shows the evolution of that process. But anyway. Thank you for that one. H Barts, I appreciate that, buddy. And then also Ryan Hartwell did ask, thank you, Ryan. Have you seen the trailer for Baz Luhrmann's Elvis? I have not.
I have. It looks extraordinary. He completely transformed Tom Hanks. He looks almost unrecognizable. It looks very solid. It looks like a really solid biopic movie. So
wait, who's Tom Hanks playing?
He is playing Elvis's agent.
Oh, okay.
The guy who discovered him and the guy who pushed him into stardom. Elvis is played by an unknown actor.
He's playing that Colonel guy.
Yeah, he's playing like the Southern drawl Colonel looking dude. Yeah.
Well, no. The Colonel is his fake name. He's actually that's just his like, yeah, it's the whole thing. But yeah, that's what they refer to. I think his name is like Colonel Tom something or Thomas something, but it's not actually his real name, which that's interesting. But I mean, I wonder if they're gonna start off with how he got introduced with the radio, because that's kind of what brought him on, and that was I wonder if they'll also do the payola scandal.
Yeah, Tom Parker. Yes.
Yeah, Tom Parker. Yeah.
It's entirely possible. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not a big Baz Luhrmann fan in general. I'm just not like I didn't care for Romeo and Juliet. The Great Gatsby never seemed to intrigue me. I just never really, I don't know. It's literally not on my list of things to watch. So, but I do like Tom Hanks, so that could be something.
I hope they mention the payola scandal, because I mean, that would be hilarious, especially if they bring up what's his name, Dick Clark and Alan Freed.
They might. I mean, because they're going to need to have some scandals with his life. That's not just him like dying on the toilet. So there's going to have to be a lot there. But look, it should be interesting. I do love Elvis. I mean, what is it? James Mangold is just announced. I didn't bring up the graphic for this, but they also just announced that after Indiana Jones 5 wraps, which is by the way very soon, he's gonna start working on the Buster Keaton biopic.
Yes, yeah.
So that should be interesting, because he did Walk the Line, and Walk the Line was good. So I think that could be interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about these biopic movies and whatnot. I just feel like a lot of times they really kind of exaggerate history to be entertaining, but I don't want to watch a fucking biopic that's exaggerated history. Like I want to know the history. That's why it's almost like I'm waiting for like someone to do a fucking an adaptation of the Bible that has Jesus riding a raptor and wielding a lightsaber and have it say based on, true events.
I would watch that movie.
I would absolutely watch,
Free Guy 2. Don't worry about it. Free Guy 2.
Yeah, just have him rocking a lightsaber and riding a raptor or flying on a raptor because they had feathers. If we're going to be scientifically accurate to an extent, I could totally do that one. But anyway, all right, why don't we talk about this? This is again kind of keeping in with what we were talking about. Charlie Cox Now, I mean, they're releasing official stills with him.
Yeah, the marketing campaign for the Blu-ray release in No Way Home has officially begun.
Yeah, like that was the thing with, and that's the next image we'll look at, is what I woke up to today, with what we all woke up to today. So it says this is something I do not believe. By the way, I don't believe this. I think he's being cheeky. Charlie Cox says it was dead fucking quiet in the theaters during his scene in Spider-Man No Way Home, saying, "I was so disappointed. My wife was recording me and then tumbleweed." I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either, but I will say it's not out of the realm of possibilities, because there was like some viral videos on like TikTok and YouTube where they were recording and waiting for a big reaction from Matt Murdock, and there's like nothing. It was crickets. So I mean, is it?
I
had
a couple of people react besides me,
but like I don't think so. Like why would he go to a theater where like he would go to like a big, I don't know. Maybe he's just messing around.
Was it Andrew Garfield and John Watts and Tobey Maguire all snuck into a theater together?
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they sat in the back, just waited.
So I mean, they wanted to see and then they were going to sneak out after their reveal, but they ended up watching the rest of the movie.
Oh yeah.
So it's because it's a solid movie. I'm looking forward to watching it again at home here very soon. And I was explaining this scene to my girlfriend today, and even she was smiling. Like when I was like, "Oh no, he catches a brick before Spider-Man." Mr. Peter Tingle lost out to a blind lawyer who can hear real fucking good. And that was great. That to me is one of the top moments of the movie. I think it's like literally in the top 3. Just because of seeing Matt Murdock pop up and it being so long, and I'm such a huge Daredevil fan of the show and of him and of the character, obviously.
I don't know, Matt. The chat is saying that their theaters were quiet during that moment. I don't know.
I don't believe you. Fourth Year says, I believe it. He's not a big star. That is, I don't know, man. My theater lit the fuck up.
Oh, so. My theater did too. But I mean,
mine didn't.
People, really, yours didn't?
Like I said when you guys were saying it, I said only a couple other people right by me kind of was like, oh, otherwise the theater's dead ass quiet.
I'll say this
when
though.
Toby and Andrew came out, but
yeah.
Charlie Cox got nothing. Really.
When I saw Solo for the first time, and we got to the Darth Maul scene, I was the only asshole in the theater making any noise.
Bastards,
right? Absolute I was the only one going no, they didn't. No, So I mean, okay, fine. I think if it's true, I feel then if it's real, I feel bad for Charlie Cox. You know what? I should toss him my number. He could call me 24 hours a day, and I would cheer.
I'll be his therapist. Come talk to me about
it. Also, the same interview, he did confirm he is coming back, although that's pretty obvious.
Well, She-Hulk and Echo and potentially, more stuff coming up.
Yeah, it's the thing too. My theater was so loud, you could barely hear the dialogue. That's the thing. Everyone had a different experience. Some people's theaters went nuts. Some people's didn't.
Did you just read Joe's comment? I was
no, I mean,
I read Joe's comment.
Yes, I'm agreeing with what he said, though. Yeah, because that was my experience as well.
Well, Spherical Manor says, "Wait, you guys had Charlie Cox. Mine had Affleck as Matt Murdock." And then Milk here says, "What if they put Ben Affleck as Murdock?" That would have been funny. Well, they were supposed. Well, according to Charlie Cox, last week, he said that there was an Easter egg for the 2003 Daredevil movie.
Yeah, because he talked to John. He talked to Happy Hogan, made a joke about Foggy.
Yeah, and so they were that didn't make it in the movie. And I'm kind of glad they didn't.
It would have been a little too cheesy, I think.
Yeah, but I'm definitely excited to see whatever comes next, because this is what we've been waiting for, and this means probably more to me as a fan than literally anything else coming up. But let's get into what is obviously been on everyone's mind today, and that is the meme. The fucking meme.
Sony broke the internet with this picture.
They actually did it.
This is the perfect way to announce a Blu-ray release date. 'Cause remember, up until this point, Sony was not acknowledging Toby and Andrew in the movie on their official social media pages or in marketing post the movie release.
So even though Marvel.com did.
Yes, Marvel.com did, but Sony and the actual Spider-Man Twitter accounts and all that did not acknowledge it. Yeah. But to come out swinging saying, "Yep, we're talking about him now," and to be "Yep, here it is. Here's the thing that you're all waiting for. Oh, by the way, the Blu-ray comes out in April, digital, March 22nd."
Well,
Like what a perfect way to announce it.
Oh, it's great. I mean, because they're waiting so long because they want to get to the next financial quarter because clearly the VOD sales and the Blu-ray 4K sales are going to do very well. Fourth here says this looks fake.
Nope.
No, this is real. This one is fake.
That one's fake. That one's edited. No, but they took that picture. They took this picture with the meme the day they all showed up for the photo shoots. Because there's in the bonus features, they're all in the same soundstage taking pictures together.
Yeah.
So
there's also like the sexy Spider-Man pose. That is one of the memes, and then like Tom Holland recreated that one. That's floating around today online. I didn't grab all those images because there's a lot of them, but they released a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, which is great. What I love about that is that it's Sony, and they're going like, all right, we want to make sure that people
sell a lot of Blu-rays.
Well, they want to embrace it because the fans clearly have embraced it. At this point, everybody knows about it. And so they want to just play up the gag. And I think that's more of a Marvel thing than a Sony thing, but I'm very happy for all of that. No, they're not all photoshopped in together. They were actually all there. This image, obviously something somebody made, but what's really funny though, was there was a bit that came out, yesterday from a Tom Holland interview on Seth Meyer about one of these fellas, having a little bit something extra in regards to some junk in the trunk. This is the clip.
I'll give you a spoiler, and I'm not going to tell you who, but one of us has a fake ass in their suit.
Really? Wow.
You can figure out that for yourselves.
Wow. I mean, see, everybody thinks you're such a nice guy, but you're all about ticket sales. Because now everybody here is going back out to try to find the fake ass.
I remember being on set and being like, wow. Oh, hang on a minute. Nah, that's not real.
Right. At the rap party, you're like, where does ass go?
Yeah.
So who is it? Who's got the booty? Who's got the fake booty?
I think it was Tobey Maguire. That's my guess.
I believe it was Tobey Maguire as well.
I think it was Nicki Minaj making a cameo as Spider-Man.
I mean, this is a thick Spider-Man right here. It's a thick booty.
Yeah, Tom Holland does not need any help accentuating his buttocks. So
Thick.
I don't think Andrew does either. If I were to guess, it was probably Toby.
It's probably Toby because he's older. He's he's like 46.
Hey, don't be ageist.
Right? He's 40. I'm not being ageist. He's 46. Maybe it's not as toit as it once was. When he was in his 20s.
Just get a Brazilian butt lift. It's okay.
Just playing it up a little bit. So he comes like, just put a little bit extra cushion. It's okay. It's okay. I just got to balance it out. I just got to balance it a little bit. I'm a very acrobatic. My butt or my back hurts. I got to balance it out. So just do that here. Anthony Cheeseman says Kim Kardashian is Spider-Man. Yeah, that would be the thing. HWAD here says don't wake the Casali. Casali, I don't think Casali comes around here anymore, so we don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, he's still around. Toby. He's definitely still around on that one. Yeah, this mentions Tobey Maguire. Andrew Casali appears. He's going to be coming. We know that he's here. So obviously we don't quite know. But I do agree. I think it is Toby. And I think it's funny because, look, Tom Cruise is like 5'7" or something, 5'8", and they put him on an Apple box to make him like, eye level with the female actor if they are his co-star, if they are taller than him, So they do that all the time. They put him in lifts and they make him taller and stuff. So this is Hollywood magic. It is just what it is. And we have to just kind of live with it, but that's okay. That is definitely okay. So,
by the way, real quick, I don't know if you saw, did you see the trailer they put out for the special features? Are you looking forward to any of those, like the panels where they talked to all the actors? Or
yeah.
Is there anything you're looking forward to?
I didn't see. I saw screenshots from it, but I didn't actually see.
They said it was like 80 minutes of bonus features plus like 20 minutes with Andrew and Toby stuff. So.
No, definitely I'm actually really okay with that. Cause like for one, I like a good solid behind the scenes featurette. And this is one that I just really want to know more about how the whole thing came together. I want to see them having fun on set because it did as a long time, Raimi fan and all those the fans of all this shit, seeing them all together meant a lot to me as a fan. And and so it really did evoke a lot of emotions out of me, and I want to see them all having a good time, because I think it's very indicative of the finished product, of how much fun they had, and then now we get to see a glimpse into that. And some of those things are
Do you
whatever.
think this will be the best selling Blu-ray of all time?
I think it's going to definitely be one of the best selling,
because it's already the best selling movie on Vudu in terms of digital pre-orders already.
Yeah, that's what Eric Davis was saying from Fandango today.
It's been selling out.
I mean, you don't sell out.
Yeah, I love when they sell. I love when they sell out a digital copy of something. Like, we only have like 38 digital copies available. Like, wait, I'm sorry, what? What?
It's infinite. It's infinite.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting the 4K. Stuff. But I think it's going to be probably one of the highest selling DVDs of all time, because DVDs still outsell like Blu-ray like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm getting set.
I think everyone's going to get it fucking digital, man. Like, it's going to be one of the most pirated movies ever, I'll tell you that.
Oh, sorry, haven't. Yeah. I have to get the whole shebang because it's my childhood. I got to do it. I support all the Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, that's kind of
$10 says they released a Spider-Man collection where it's like all the movies in one package.
That's what I hope they do, so I can get all the Tom Holland movies in one, and also the Andrew ones.
I have the Toby ones in 4K. I bought those.
I have both the Toby and the Andrew movies.
Well, and I saw that they just released the Toby and Andrew collection in 4K. Like, you could get that as the thing. But yeah, I'll probably look at getting the other. You want
to talk about global phenomenon when it comes to Blu-ray sales? Wait for Spider-Man No Way Home to come out.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see if certain people are going to be pushing that narrative. But speaking of that, why don't we get into what's going to be the big topic of the night, the one that I got to ask. We got to talk about the Batman here, and
how's it's going to fail, right? It's gonna completely flop. It's not going to be that good. No one's talking good about it whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Considering the fact that with what we're going to be looking at tonight, pulled off a live stream from earlier today, I actually reached out.
Controversy.
I actually reached out to someone who I mentioned this earlier, who I know, who I met at the premiere, at the screening of Rise of Skywalker I went to in LA. She saw the Batman. And she gave me some information on it. So I asked her some questions.
To people who have seen the movie as well. I'm not allowed to name names, of course, but
yeah, I do know, and then you and I do know somebody else who has seen it as well.
Yes.
So I've got
we know.
Yeah, I've got two sources that have seen it that I know, and have not spoiled nothing for me, but they have answered some questions that I have asked.
Yes, that is an official poster. Yes.
Yeah, this is a good looking poster. But Rational Skeptic here for $5. So I know this was the first one of the night. I just wanted to hold on to now. It says, despite what Mikey says, the Batman may very well get shit on by some critics, but that's not going to stop me from loving the hell out of it. And that's going to be a lot.
That's going to be a fringe minority, though, man. Like, I highly doubt most critics are going to shove this movie. I'm sorry, but that makes no sense to me.
There is a lot of people out there that are really hyped for this thing. We have a lot to get into. So why don't we just get into it here? So, I want to talk real quick though about Snyder Cut people in general and being kind of like, gullible. I'll just say it, gullible. Or, maybe gullible is the wrong word, but like, very optimistic, but easily swayed. So kind of gullible. Like this guy here, Aaron Bailey, who is a big Snyder supporter, put this out, I think like 2 days ago. And he's all like, y'all want an exclusive 3 years? Zach will get to direct an HBO Max original series that will be set in the Nightmare timeline. Most of the cast will return, and it will essentially be Justice League 2 and 3. Bookmark this. And so this is not an exclusive. This is just wishful thinking. This is just this guy putting out there and saying, I wish this was real. And that's that.
It's throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
And hoping that in a couple years, he'll be able to go, well, I called it. And the thing is, like, this is what, when we talk about coping in the Snyder fandom, this is what the coping becomes. So, that's where we kind of get over here to Geekosity. Geekosity has made its name in the last couple of years. This is run by Mikey Sutton, predominantly off of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the biggest thing that he has got because Mikey was, back in the summer of 2019, when everybody was saying that, no, Tom Holland is out. He was saying, no, Tom Holland is in. I think anyone,
and I believe Yahoo News covered it as well.
Yeah, so he got a lot of play, and he built the website around it, whatever. And Spider-Man is still his number one commodity on this website. I was looking through his website tonight. There's been barely any coverage of the Batman. It's mostly Spider-Man or Snyderverse, or his comic. And so it's really kind of like
mostly a lot of Marvel stuff too.
It's almost all Marvel. Yeah, it's almost all Marvel, because that's where I think a lot of the hype is coming from, and that's what he says. So when I asked the question about Mikey, like, why do you hate the Bat? It has a lot to do with the show that he does with Sil over there on Sil Abdul. And it becomes very, apparent as you watch these streams that they have this villainization of the Batman. They are openly opining for it to fail. They are hoping that it fails.
And I'll be honest, I don't believe that they actually think this stuff. I think it's very much performative, and I think it's just playing up to an audience that kind of like wants to like hear that kind of stuff.
It's just putting a narrative to the audience that they have built up.
I don't think they actually believe what they're saying is where I'm getting at. I think it's more so them kind of putting on this whole act, kind of like egging stuff on because they know it's funny to them, and they know
it's appealing to their audience.
Yes.
And that's like the one thing that they do in order to get a lot of attention, because otherwise, like, Sil has Sil has a small channel, and from the small channel, he uses Mikey as the purveyor of information. And anytime Sil is criticized about this kind of stuff, he'll go, well, it's not my information, it's Mikey's information. And he said that to me in an exchange. He's like, well, you don't trust Mikey? Like, he's turning it around to where, like, you can't criticize their grift. Like, they play it up.
This is a perpetual thing where, in my opinion, and again, I want to clarify this as we're going into this, I have no personal issue with either of those individuals. What I noticed, though, is that, at least in my opinion, I feel like his mods and Sil himself, I feel like he feels threatened when people cast any shred of doubt towards the validity of Mikey's scoops.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you cannot raise any concern whatsoever to anything being legit or ask questions without...
You'll get timed out so fast.
Troll. For example, and I went public about this because I thought it was ridiculous. I was watching the stream and they were talking about Scott Mendelson's box office article, and they were talking about how the 80 million seems more in line with what they feel like the hype is going to be. They were just reporting on that article. This is not a slight against them, but all I said was, man, this stream is going to age like spoiled milk, and the mods timed me out and they hid me from the channel because apparently I was insulting them by saying that their stream might age like sour milk. Does that really come across as a insult towards anyone personally? I don't think so. But again, it's about the mods.
Yeah, the mods will time out for way less.
It's not like dissenting opinions. They do not like anyone raising any doubt towards what they say.
No, you just can't criticize
which is why you get not even that, but it's also why you get stuff like, oh, look at the Scooby-Doo gang. And it's either you're with us or you're part of the agenda.
It's the agenda. Like, so anytime anyone disagrees, they're part of the agenda. If you're a YouTuber that disagrees with them, like, you're, like, this is the thing he's doing now is like this clapback show on Saturday or whatever, clapback season, where it's like, oh, we're going to be calling out these people because all Sil, and this is what's been described to me. Sil is a hype man. This is from people connected to Geekosity have described him. That's how they describe him.
Heck,
I'd like to know what
known Sil before he
I would like to know what
channel.
Yeah, I'd like to know what kind of hype, to be fair, because not having 2K subs, like, you have a very small audience of people. What exactly are you hyping up? If you're covering all the DC stuff, and really it's like there's stuff that they're talking about on this podcast, Mikey isn't talking about on his website. And I bring that up because, well, this is similarweb.com looking at Mikey's overall analytics here, because Mikey has said, oh, I get, 4 million clicks a month. He said that on one of the streams the other day, trying to argue that Black Adam is going to be this massively important, movie. But look here, you can see that in October, he had 4.5 million visits. In November, 2.5 million. And then December, 1.5. What was happening in October and November? Spider-Man. That was all leading up to Spider-Man. And that was a lot of the stuff there. All the rumors, all the leaks, everything was all Spider-Man. And even now we're seeing that all of the coverage is practically Marvel outside of a little bit of Snyder stuff here and there. But, I'm not even seeing a great deal of Black Adam coverage. In fact, let me bring it up again here just so I can do a search. I want to just make sure I am correct. So yeah, the last article was written on November 12th, 2021, was Henry Cavill possibly signed as Superman for Black Adam 2. That was from November of 2021. November 4th, 2021, The Rock's Black Adam to face Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman in a future DC movie. I mean, look, if Black Adam was as big as Mikey has been proclaiming that it will be, and using the site's analytics to suggest that, there would be more articles written about it instead of covering, Marvel, because all it is right now is basically covering Marvel and a little bit of DC stuff, but it's mostly
sprinkled in there. Yeah, but it's mostly Marvel.
Mostly Marvel. And so it's just like, you can tell on that front that there's clearly something that's not necessarily adding up here, which is why I find it to be interesting. Another thing that's been posited is that a lot of what's been being said in these streams is meant to push his comic book, which this is from Second Screen, or Second Print, whatever the name of the company is that's doing the releasing of the Dreamwalker comic. They've all sold out. And hey, good for him on that one if he's using this platform to market his comic. And we know through Comicsgate that if you can actually do well with putting out your own comic self-publishing, you can actually make a fair amount of money with a decent enough audience. Even with the smaller audience, you can still make a decent enough return on these issues or on this stuff. So there's been people that have made the accusation that he is just doing this over there in order to really sell his comic. And I don't quite know if that's the case. I mean, look, HBarts here says, did Syl find Mikey through you? I don't know. I know at the time, see, what you have to understand about Syl is that Syl was over with like Lightcast and Cultured Nerd and all those guys. He jumps from group to group, and it's whoever can give him like exclusives or give him whatever. And that's kind of the bigger issue here is, he's clearly just like, he's glommed on to Mikey. And from my understanding, like, again, I know a little bit of the financials I don't know all of the arrangements, but I know a little bit. And again, I'm not going to speak to the specifics, but it's kind of like there is financial incentivization between both parties to continue this thing. Anyone with, I believe, a functioning, working brain and understanding and knowledge of how the industry operates can tell Zach is not working on anything DC related, nor is he going to be for the foreseeable future, if ever. Why?
Just read the news, simply as that. Like,
yeah, like why did, yeah, like why would you, and this is my question, why would you, when you would go to, why would you go back to DC and do this stuff when you could easily get very little oversight and almost a blank check at Netflix? It makes literally no sense. And a built-in audience of people. It literally makes no sense to ever go backwards. It's at this point, it's absolutely going backwards. And I don't foresee Zach really ever coming back into working on another adaptation. I feel everything he's going to do going forward is going to be his own creation, because if you've got the keys to your own kingdom and you've now yourself as a creator have said the Snyderverse is my original properties, why would you ever go backwards? I mean, there's superhero
the other thing
films
is too, why would Netflix ever want to give him up too?
They wouldn't.
They're going to fight tooth and nail to keep him in their wheelhouse. Absolutely.
No, exactly. Because there's money there. There's a lot of money there. And so I have a couple clips that I want to quickly play to give you guys an idea of just the kind of stuff that they're saying and to show you like how it's just, it sounds from anyone who's been paying attention to the Batman, how crazy this stuff is. So this is a first little bit here about, I believe this particular clip is about like how Bruce Wayne is perceived. I think that's what this one is.
I'm trying to be so optimistic, but I'm just not there, and I don't know. And then I, been hearing from people that I sent you a meme too, by the way. You saw that, where it's a villain film. Like, again, really?
So I heard, and I'm just going to add this as we go, but like I heard that Riddler outshines Patterson.
I'm walking out. I'm walking out, man. I'm walking out. I'm gone.
That's what I heard. That Riddler, now they compare it to more of like a Dark Knight situation where Heath Ledger, and I get that. We saw that. We understood how that Bell held his own, obviously. But that was Heath Ledger's film, right?
But also, it's also the Joker. The Joker will Batman has tough
Joker.
time.
That's Jack Nicholson, right? He was
exactly there. You go.
Over Keaton, right?
Yeah,
Batman
exactly. It's hard.
So
Joker is okay. What do you call it? Like a buddy film, right? You have a straight man, then you have the wild guy. The wild guy will always outshine the straight man, always, because he's shiny and glittery and flamboyant, right? But the Riddler, I was shining dude, I'm out. Okay. If Trash Man. Now
the viewers, I know I haven't seen this film yet, right? When I see it, I'm gonna spoil the whole thing. Like I'm gonna go live as soon as I say I'm gonna spoil everything. But that's what I heard from again. This is someone who was excited going into this film, and I trust the person that told me this. I know they're not like, some kind of, shield or some kind of weirdo. So they loved Patterson in the bat suit, but they hated him out of the suit. They said Bruce Wayne was very weak. Zoe Kravitz was great. So I'm believing them when they say all this, right?
I know she'll be awesome. I know Zoe will be great.
Yeah. And they said the Riddler outshines Patterson. I'm like, no.
That's a weird, like...
It's such a weird comment, such a weird angle to take with this whole thing. It really, really is. Because, again, like, here is why Still and Mikey, in my opinion, face so much opposition. Everything that they say is in total contrast to literally every other person who knows and talks movies in the entire sphere. Because nobody is saying this stuff. Who are they talking to? Who is saying this? Because everything that we've heard from people who have talked to those who have seen the movie are saying this is not even remotely accurate. This is not the perception of the film whatsoever.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, you and I, again, we have people we've talked to. There's a statement that I will read off once these clips are done from the person I spoke with, who answered some questions of mine. But if you listen, like Mikey's like, I'm trying to be optimistic. I haven't heard him be optimistic about this at all. There's another part, they're talking about the box office. It might be in one of the clips I grabbed in this segment, but they're talking about how, I couldn't even get a No Way Home ticket. It had to be given to me, blah, blah, blah. Mikey and I live close by each other. And in my neck of the woods, I've got about 100,000 people in my city. Between the three cities in this area, we have 2 theaters. And those tickets are selling out like crazy for Batman. I've been looking. And this is happening in a lot of other places. Once the fan screenings happen on Tuesday and people go and they watch it, they come out, they talk about it.
By the way, the
sold out $20 million in pre-sales for those IMAX fan screenings. So, and that's all going to go towards the first weekend box office. But because that's how Hollywood accounting operates. But anyway, people are going to rush out and tell their friends about it and everything else. It looks like we lost RJ again, potentially.
No, that was Jimbo.
Oh, it was Jimbo. Sorry, he's got to go.
I'm right here, Jimbo.
You know what, man? I saw it dip, and I'm tired. It's been a long day. But anyway, The thing is, though, I agree with Murdoch J here. Almost every comic book movie that comes out, the villains always outshine the heroes. That's the point. Batman is a fucking straight man. Like, he's the straight man. He's like I'm a detective. I'm the world's greatest detective. I'm a crime fighter. I fight for justice. I stop bad guys. Bad guys are the more colorful juxtaposition and the antithesis to the hero.
Not even that. Here's the thing too. They're all like, "Oh, who we talked to, we love Pattinson in the suit, but his Bruce Wayne's terrible." Pattinson is in the suit 85 to 90% of the runtime, from what I've heard. He's in the Batman suit majority of the movie. You rarely see Bruce Wayne. There's maybe only a couple scenes where you get to see Bruce Wayne. Like, so what does that even mean? And plus,
this is Batman.
Outshine him. The other thing is too, Bruce Wayne is the main character. It's his story. He's the narrator. He's the one driving the plot forward because he is the main character. This is like the most Bruce Wayne and like Batman you ever got in a movie. It's Batman centric. It's his point of view, looking at the events going on. It's him solving the mystery.
Yeah,
Like,
which is what people have been asking for.
About?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of this movie is going to be different than what I think some people out there might be expecting, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. And I feel like there's a lot of poisoning the well here. There's also a point where Syl talks about the person who told him, and it wasn't even that person directly had the information. That was relayed through a third party to Syl. So that's like, it was like the person he's talking about, he heard about that person through somebody else, and this is by his own admission in this live stream. So it's a lot of like contradictory statements. It feels like it's like this kind of like faux optimism. He's like, oh, I'm going to go spoil it as soon as I see it. I'm going to go live and talk about it, which is fine. Everyone's going to be doing that. Yeah, but it's like this gleefulness of like, I can't wait for it to suck to bash on it. Who does that fucking sound like? Sounds like the fandom fucking menace.
Sounds like some geeks and gamers type tactics.
And I will say this about my personal experience with Mikey Sutton. He fucking hates those guys. He doesn't like Midnight's Edge. He doesn't like Doomcock. He comes on this show and drops scoops that he knows will piss them off. So much so that, remember that when he dropped the Kathleen Kennedy isn't going to get fucking fired bit, and they all freaked out but refused to mention my stream by name. And then even Doomcock was calling him like a shill or an SJW or whatever.
SJW scooper.
Yeah, all this kind of stuff. They were trying to discredit him. And then what does he do? Like, he goes on to Midnight's Edge with, like people that he's that he's very much disparaged to me and everything else. And it's like, this goes to show you that this situation is turning into more of a business opportunity. And I think the fan base kind of knows that based on things that I've been told from a couple different parties. And I think
some people have caught on, I feel like. Yeah.
I think they've caught on, because it's been, again, there's the financial incentivization to keep this kind of stuff going. It's like putting the scoops behind paywalls, which I've been open about that I'm not a fan of.
And that's where you get into really tricky water, which is why they also get a lot of pushback. They're basically putting a paywall on scoops. Most scoopers do this basically for free, and they do it for Twitter clout or internet fame. They
or they run their websites and they get advertising revenue off of it, which is fucking fine.
But they don't put stuff behind a paywall. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, and they do this, but it's only with DC stuff, because that is the whole side of it, right? I think any rational person can tell you the Snyderverse is not continuing. With the success of Peacemaker. And again, these are, a lot of people in the Snyder fandom, as I was watching over the course of the past couple of days, even going as far as to get timed out on Nicotina's own show, because I commented one time in the chat while they were complaining, having a cry fest over the finale. And, and I was just laughing because I'm like, again, everyone takes this. I mean, I take it seriously too. I've been upset, but it's like, and I like to troll. But that's kind of where we are. It's like, this is where you can see that this is an identity for these people. And so the people out there that are very much in on that want to dig their heels in, this is where they are right now. And it's like when I was on Max's stream with that Skywalker the Jedi guy, who I've talked with, and I don't have no issue with the guy, but like, he's just saying things, like he's repeating talking points that are like either old, outdated, or easily disprovable. And I'm like, it's hard to talk with somebody like that, because they live in this world that is not based in fact.
They're not on the same wavelength.
Or based in information.
In a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, by the way, Protoss, yes, Mikey and Syl did go on Midnight's Edge a while back. And again, this is way after Mikey had outright been like, I don't like those guys. He wants to he thinks they're full of shit because of Cameron Pasha. You know what I mean? Like, who is one of the people that you think told me a bit about Cameron Pasha? Like, sent me stuff on Pasha as well. Like, Mikey pays attention to all this stuff. Like, he knows what's going on in the scoop game. It is what it is. It's like, this is where there's been, I believe, and this is my take, there are some bad influences on him as a businessman that I think is really delineating his integrity. And I think that person is Syl Abdul, because Syl is in it for the clout and for the money. He wants the clout and the coin. And anyone who disagrees, he just calls them a hater, part of the agenda. Never mind.
The Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, and then my favorite thing though is, again, he's used like the hashtag people's champ. So he's stolen the Rock's tagline. And he's like, oh, I'm also some black guy, which is a guy named Derek Blackman, a YouTuber who's a personal friend of mine who's got like 500,000 subs. So he's like, he doesn't care. he just kind of like appropriates stuff that's not his, and then tries to act like there's an ownership factor there. And that's unfortunate, but it goes even further than that, RJ. Then they start talking about the embargo.
Yeah,
this is pretty funny. Listen to this.
No.
So the embargo is lifted, won't be lifted until the day before release.
Oh,
is that what I mean?
That's not good. Do we got a date on that? I don't know. First off, shout out to Slime Gaming, 199 super chat. Give me a message, bro. We'll talk about what you got to say. I don't have a date on that, Mike. If you do, yeah, I mean, I'll go off what you're saying.
Because I heard some gossip that the embargo won't end until the day before or something like the day before.
I think it's on that fan day. They're doing a fan screening March 1st.
Okay.
And they're holding the embargo until the fans see it. Which is interesting, right? Because if you kind of let the embargo out this week, because we're a week away now for the fan screening. We're a week away.
Okay.
You open it now. Oh, is the fans going to be deterred from watching it? Fan screening March 1st. It feels like it's not a lot of confidence in this film. That's what it feels like.
Okay, so Jack Gates, the day before the fan event is when the embargo is lifted.
No, because it's the day before. So it is the 20th. I heard March 1st, but if that's what, again, I don't can go off what I heard. If there's a confirmation of that, great. I heard it was March 1st as the fans are going into the fan screening that the embargo lifts. So it's we already got you. Now, if it's the 28th, great. I will definitely touch that article if that's true. So I'll just go with that.
But why don't they lift the embargo long before that? If it's so
it should be this week. This is the week to do it.
Because it's like they don't want fans to be influenced by the reviews, because people do get influenced by reviews.
Oh yeah. They definitely would. And hey, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna get my honest, review of it. And that is what it is. But I think the sign of confidence, that's a big thing. Mikey, you kind of touched on that, right?
Oh yeah.
How do they show that confidence in the film? Should the embargo release a week before or a week of? Just in your opinion, with your years of journalism.
They should release the embargo earlier.
Yeah.
And then have the social media wave pick up on it, right? And then this is really to the wire here. I don't know. To me, it doesn't make me feel better from what I've been hearing already.
So
that made my head hurt for a number of reasons. Okay, first off, well, they weren't for sure on the date. The embargo actually lists February 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Okay. Secondly,
a full day and a half before the screenings.
They wouldn't be doing fan screenings across the country if they didn't have confidence in the movie. They've been screening this movie for the past 2 months. 2 months they've been screening this movie already. Most of the critics have already seen the movie, already written their reviews, just waiting to hit the publish button. Also, it's about building forward momentum. They want the reviews to release the day before the fan event to build that excitement up, because critics see it and the reviews drop one day. The fans will see it the next day. That leads into the hype for the opening weekend. It's all about the marketing strategy. That's the whole point of it. If you release it this week, there's no forward momentum. You risk that. It's about building momentum the week of release.
Exactly. I mean, look, like I said, they're putting this movie in well over 4,400 screens. It's going to probably take over most theaters for the entire first weekend. And that's what people are going to be seeing. So obviously having it,
it just blows my mind, because how do you not recognize that?
Because again, there's their hashtag bias bros, and they own that shit, which is really weird. It's like they're not even giving objectively factual takes. And there is actually a clip from that live stream towards the end of it where Syl and I didn't grab it, but I should have. Syl makes a comment about how oh no, it's all logic and facts. It's all logic and facts. This is what we, and people who pay attention to that, they listen to us, sort of thing. And it's like, dude, you guys are, you're you don't have your information. You don't, you think it's going to be, the embargo lifts as people are going into the fan screening because they've already got their money. Like everyone
Well,
that's
it's also
coming out
the
of
weird comment too. It's like they don't want the fans to be influenced by the reviews. Like the people going to the fan screenings are the most like hardcore fans who want to see the movie. They don't care about the reviews anyway. Plus, too, it doesn't matter because it's about building word of mouth going into opening weekend. Like, I don't understand. This is a hard concept to grasp.
It's really weird. Yeah. I mean, Goober here says green lit spin-off shows, but no confidence. Yeah. There's GCPD, and then there's going to be the Penguin show. And then
there
there's
might
the
even be a third one.
Well, there's the animated show with that Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams are producing. And
there's rumors of a Catwoman show.
Yeah. And I mean, they just released a Catwoman Hunted or Wanted, whatever it was, animated
Hunted,
film.
yeah, Catwoman Hunted.
So like they're building up the Catwoman brand as well. And I've heard I've heard rumors of a potential, Zoe Kravitz HBO Max series. So obviously Warner's is in the Matt Reeves Batman camp. I mean, it was 5 years ago today, RJ, that it came out that Matt Reeves signed the deal to write and direct the Batman movie. 5 years, guys, and we got here. And so this is where it gets a little crazy. So there's still one more clip. And again, it's just kind of wild, like the takes that they take you on. And their audience, by the way, they're eating this shit up. They're just like, no
they're
logic
buying into it. Like they're all downplaying, like,
yeah.
It's like this movie's gonna suck, all this and that. It's like they're buying into it.
It's all leading into Zack Snyder miraculously returning on a white horse to slay Hamada and to take his place on the throne of DC Films. Like
the villain should not outshine the protagonist. So I get what you're saying, and that's what I'm hearing. And it's very weird to hear this, Mikey, because we go through this trash bag suit, and that was the worst thing I heard from a person that was wanting to like this film. I know they were. Like, I trust where I got this from. And they said, yo, Riddler is gonna steal the show.
No, I'm out.
Why does that matter? Like,
yeah. The Riddler,
he's the villain of the movie. He should be a good character. Like,
yeah, didn't Heath Ledger's Joker steal the show from Christian Bale? Didn't Jack Nicholson's Joker steal the show from Michael Keaton? I mean, like, if done well, even the Riddler and Two-Face in Batman Forever, I would argue the Riddler, Jim Carrey's so over the top performance was great, kind of stole the show from a lot of the other stuff, especially Two-Face and everything.
Well, it's the same logic too, where I don't know if you got this clip, but they also was like, oh, it's the third act's amazing, but it's like 90 minutes of boredom with a crappy Bruce Wayne. It's like there's barely any action in the movie. Who are they talking to? Because everyone who I've talked to about regarding this movie said the movie's stock full of action, that it kept their attention for the entire 3-hour running time. There's never a dull moment. That it has some of the best Batman action sequences ever put to film. Who are they talking to?
I don't know. Yeah. And I mean, like I've said before, and I stand by this. Like, when it comes to Marvel stuff, I do think Mikey has an inroad. When it comes to this DC stuff, man, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Like, it's just either this is so performative that it's being designed to mislead an audience. It's just
almost
so
like
weird.
On purpose. I don't know.
Yeah. So let me read you what I was told. Okay.
Because you did some investigative work.
I asked a couple people that I know. I reached out to a couple different sources, people that I know who I know for a fact have seen it.
Like, you can verify they have seen the movie.
Yeah, I can absolutely verify it. And so this person says here, I liked Robert. He sold it as Batman. It's a very, very different sort of Batman movie, so some people may not have an open mind. This world feels like it exists in the Joker's world. There's an action right from the start, but it's not a blow them up kind. It's gruesome kills sets in motion. It's pretty gruesome and sort of reminds you of the movie Seven, which clearly is what they were going for.
Well, it's very much a David Fincher inspired film. Yeah.
Yes. And also Saw and everything else, right? So the director has to, from the beginning, it's a detective story, and that's exactly what we get. So not sure why people are expecting something else. Maybe because they just don't read. Riddler was pretty freaky, almost like a horror movie villain, and you only see bits and pieces of him. I really liked it because it's so different than any cinematic iterations of Batman, and that's it. And like that's what they told me. And it's like, obviously, and this person, trust me, doesn't like everything. So, they came out, they really liked it. And
I myself have conversations with people saying that it has some of the best Batman action sequences ever put to film. That it's a very personal story. Batman is the focal point. He is the one who you follow. I mean, it is very much, he narrates the film. It's his perspective. It's exactly what you would want. It reads like a Batman comic book to a T, like a great Batman comic book storyline, right? And this whole thing about the action, that it gets boring or whatever, it's odd to me, because the conversation I've had is that, again, it has some of the best Batman action sequences ever put to film, and it's stock full of action sequences. There's not like, there's an abundance of action, not a lack of action in the film.
I mean, Batman doesn't kill, so we know that one, but he beats people to a bloody ass pulp. Batman is a detective. He spends, this is like year 2, right? So this is him battling being Batman, like the persona of Batman, and still trying to also be Bruce Wayne to an extent, which is why
it's a character work.
Yeah, it's a character story, and then he's going to grow into that. So it makes all the sense in the world. Again, like I don't watch still frequently. So, I mean, people will send me clips and they'll tell me what's being said. So I always find it to be wild when they go this far off the deep end. And then,
no one else is saying this stuff. That's why I'm wondering.
No one else is saying this, yeah.
No one else is saying this.
But because Mikey is putting his name to it, because Mikey is sitting there and saying this is, this is what's going on. Obviously, that is kind of leading people to, like, I think to kind of give it more validity. But it just they called basically they tried saying the Riddler was like Pickle Rick, right? Looks like a pickle in a trash bag.
Yeah, they very much. That's fine. I know some.
Or yeah, like it's just
fine. I get that.
That's fine. I mean, dude, Colin Farrell, like to test the validity of his makeup, actually like went to like Starbucks in his makeup to see if anybody would recognize him as Colin Farrell, and like no one did. It's very difficult to tell that it's him. So this is a much different take, a much like more realistic take on the character.
Well, it's just odd that they're going from the perspective of no one's really excited for this movie. There's all this doubt around it that it's not going to do that well. They don't think, and it's like there's concerns about it when literally nobody else is really feeling this way. No one else is just talking about this way. Like literally everyone who's seen the movie has nothing but high praise for it. Will there probably be some negative reviews on embargo day? Probably. There's always going to be at least one negative review. Maybe they just ended up talking to like the one guy who like didn't like some aspects of the movie. I don't know. But even if like it's just the way they talk about it, it's like so like put like talking down about it, like almost on purpose. It's really bizarre.
I don't quite understand that. I mean, one of the interesting things with this too has been the fact that like you've got you've got the early box office projections, right? And this again is another thing that like that Sil and Mikey have attempted to try to pull on here, saying that early, because this is a tweet from back in early February, right? Back when Box Office Pro released their projections, their long range projections for the Batman domestically. And they did say that it might have a potential $135 million to $185 million opening weekend and have a long,
and that's a super early rough estimate. It's not
and that's,
gonna
yeah,
be, yeah.
Well, and that's a super early rough estimate. And then, of course, Scott Mendelson put out an article 6 days later, kind of tempering that a little bit down to 80 million, which is what he said came in from Warner Brothers internal tracking. But he also says in the article that that they lowballed it, that they always lowball this kind of stuff.
And studios do this all the time. They always lowball their opening weekend projections on purpose. So whenever it opens, if it opens bigger, it looks good on paper. They always do this. Every studio lowballs opening weekend projections.
And another thing too is like when this article dropped and they were reading it on the stream, they were acting like Scott Mendelson is, basically just backing up what Mikey said, that it's going to do shitty opening weekend.
Oh yeah, like he finally destroyed the Box Office Pro narrative that he's dropping the facts here. It's like
and it's like but he even kind of dispels the own argument in the article. And that's the weirdest thing is like, I've never seen these two people who cover movies like this attacking a film, wanting it to fail as badly as they do, simply for no other purpose than
it's what the audience wants.
It's what the audience wants. It's the narrative they've created. So that's why I think at this point, when it comes to looking at anything like Mikey is really like anything after this is very, I don't trust him. I don't recommend you listen to him. I don't recommend you read his website. I don't recommend you pay him any mind, because this is blatantly false. This is blatantly done as a way to push a narrative that could be potentially just to sell his comic. More so, it's not pushing his website, because these articles are talking about stuff they're not being written about on the website. You know, like not all of them. Like a lot of the stuff is just being pushed there.
It's just bizarre to me that instead of being honest with reporting, it feels like it's about crafting a specific narrative to go against something because it's what people want to hear. It's like people want to root against something, so you give them ammo to do so rather than just be objective about the reporting going on. You can express your own opinion, by the way. If they're not excited for the movie, that's fine. I have no issue with that.
That's fine. By all means, express it, whatever. But it's like the Fandom Menace will look for any little thing that they can to attack. You know, like when we were looking at that Lord of the Rings thing from the other night, and the Fandom Menace was attacking it, you know, for all the wrong reasons, in my opinion. But they were like attacking it, and then you realize that those guys were not Lord of the Rings super fans. They were Harry Potter super fans looking at Lord of the Rings through a Harry Potter lens. And that is fundamentally wrong, given the context of what Tolkien wrote and how he wrote it and everything else. Because I'm sorry, J.K. Rowling is in no way ever fucking, you know, Tolkien. But they attacked that because the marketing team was stupid and gave them ammo that could easily be torn apart. Here, it's now crafting a narrative based off of thin air and trying to pull information like this.
And it's also based off emotion.
It's based off of financial incentive, and I'm not too sure if you want to create. I don't want to say greed, but it kind of edges towards that a little bit green going on there. But see, here's another thing too: is we got a little bit of an odd reveal today. There was a bit of an early publishing of a bunch of snippets from a review.
Yes,
a bunch of reviews.
MTV UK kind of accidentally leaked a bunch of the reviews.
Well, I mean, nothing spoiler wise.
At least some snippets.
This is like
some of the blurbs.
Well, this is a paid partnership with.
Yeah, you have to remember, the critics have already seen the movie. They've already written their reviews. It's just by waiting to publish it. That's literally it. You're just waiting for that they drop.
Yeah, and so they've already got this here. Matt Reeves delivers a nail-biting, gritty, and fun Batman coming-of-age story. Absolutely euphoric, sensational, gripping, one hell of a movie. Robert Pattinson will be your new favorite Batman. So, yeah, the review embargo hits on next Monday at 9 a.m. I believe 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yes.
And then from there we get this taste right here based upon what I was already sent from a person who did see the movie. And, you know, kind of giving a very similar take to this kind of stuff. We can see that they clearly do not have any problem with this movie.
It's almost like they were confident, and that's why they're doing early fan screenings.
Yeah, sure.
It's almost like the embargo being dropped this late is not a sign of a lack of confidence.
You know what? But I'm going to tell you something, RJ. Do you want to know what else they said today? What else came out today that shows you that confidence abound? Confidence is there, that they have peak alpha male confidence in their property.
What's that?
Matt Reeves has said that they've already started talking about a sequel.
Which means he's getting a
trilogy, hands down. If it's true and a certain villain makes an appearance in this movie, which I do believe will happen, it's
I know what you're talking.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is.
And I won't say what it is either.
Yeah,
but
and I was pissed off that everyone was talking about it, but it's like fine, whatever. Look, the thing is they've already been. He signed on 5 years ago. He wrote this thing. He's
making his own Batman universe. Like, that wasn't evident when they greenlit the shows. Here you go.
Exactly. So he is 100% going forward with the sequel. This movie will, if it's $100 million to shoot, 185 after COVID and the reshoots and everything else.
But Matt, Mikey and Sil said Walter Hamada wants this movie to make $185 million opening weekend.
Yeah, I know. This is
Walter Hamada thinks it'll be as big as No Way Home, and if it doesn't meet those expectations, it's a failure. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, Benson here makes a point. Brings up. It says here, these scoopers can throw out numerous claims and something will hit eventually. It's like having a pantheon and hoping one show will be a success.
Come on, man.
So there you go on that one.
That's low. That's low.
That's there you go, Benson, on that one, man. It is what it is. But so yeah, I mean, all right. Anyway, hold on, I lost my page. And then Rational here for $5. Thank you. Says Steve Shives and his crowd are having complaints about this film. What is Steve Shives saying? What the fuck is Steve? I don't want to know. I've been blocked by Steve Shives for. It's a meme. This guy blocks everybody. Everybody.
I know.
Just, but yeah, Steve Shives is a bitch. So there's that. But I mean, look, all I'm saying is, when you look at this kind of stuff, what you can do, hold on, don't jinx it. This would happen to BVS. No. What happened to BVS was 30 minutes of narrative being cut out.
This is not a movie that's been being butchered.
This movie is going to be as long as the or almost as long as BVS's Ultimate Edition, and they're putting it in theaters. And it's entirely,
and
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't even think BVS screened this early for critics. I could be wrong. I just don't think it did.
They've been screening it. They've been doing screenings where critics haven't been able to attend. They definitely, clearly the reviews have already been written by a lot of these people. So they've been submitted, and the marketing has already gone out. And they're getting ready to do the full marketing push next week. And that's why I feel the hype is going to be real here. Whereas Spider-Man No Way Home had the benefit of having a lot of that stuff leak out and it leading the charge, the Batman holding things close to the chest is going to have the similar effect. This is a different movie. You know what I mean? Like they've clearly established a world, like a new technology with like the stagecraft tech is being used for the first time theatrically. That's going to be really cool to see. The action's going to be great. The characterizations are going to be great. This is a dark, gritty Batman. It's a Batman that people out there really want, kind of in the vein of like Arkham City or Arkham Asylum, maybe not so much Arkham Knight, because that was more of an Affleck-y sort of thing. But still, it's like I look at this stuff and I think, all right, we're going to be in for a hell of a ride with this movie when it comes out. So far, people who have seen it surface level have said yay. Behind the scenes, they've floated information out to some of their mutuals who have been able to come out and say yay. I think this is going to even have a Rotten Tomatoes score of like 93%, I'm going to say.
Oh, that's pretty high. I was thinking 88 to 91.
I'm thinking I'm going to call it a high of 93. That's what I'm thinking. I think and the biggest amount of bullshit we're going to get out of that one is like the length is too long. We're going to hear that one.
Yeah. I'll be curious if the narrative turns into, oh my God, did Warner Brothers buy off the critics? Like they did. Oh my God, did they buy off the critics? Did they pay them off?
No, God, I don't. You know what? We might hear that. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Next week over on Sil Abdul, any one of his programs, someone will make that comment and they'll go like, maybe. I don't know.
Some shady things going on over there.
All right, yeah. Hamada and the agenda. They want to. Yeah, it's all nonsense.
It's all about the agenda, Jarbo.
It's all about. I know. Benson here for £2 says Warner Brothers won't muddy the water with a return to Snyder. Not for the amount of money it costs for Zack Snyder films. That's the whole issue here. Zack Snyder films cost a lot of money, and doing, let's just say, look at Justice League 2, Justice League 3. Like, let's just give that a run through, right? I mean, Casey Walsh earlier today had made a comment about how you're looking at like $50 million budget for just the actors for just one movie. It's not going to be for two films. It's going to be for one movie.
Pricey actors.
It's very pricey. And Ray Fisher, and he's not coming back. So if Ray doesn't come back, Zach's not going to come back. And, it's not that like, they're not going to give Ray Fisher back to Zach like that. Zach is going to toss him to the curb if he comes back, because Ray's come out and accused the head of the studio of being racist, and he said all this stuff. You think they're going to work with him again? No, they're not. Like, they're not. And it's, that's just the reality of what it is. Sadly, a lot of people don't quite realize that. So, also, Frost Family here says, do people forget that Justice League flopped? Yeah. But I'll put it to you like this, right? Justice League in all of its iterations cost over $400 million to make.
I mean, they basically reshot the same movie twice. So
yeah. So there's that. Did I miss some super chats there, buddy? H Barks is saying that I did.
I think you missed one about Veer Mahan.
Oh, right. I got that. Yeah. I don't know who that is. I did see that. Sorry, man. There we go. Yes.
Veer Mahan is coming eventually. There's another one. There's another one about me.
Yeah, I saw this one. Yeah. RJ gets drafted the day he wants to see this movie.
I guess I'm going to go to jail then because I am missing that screening on March the 1st.
You're like, if I'm gonna miss my class, I'm gonna miss.
Oh, I already got a doctor's note, man. I'm good.
You got a doctor's note?
I did. Yeah.
Is it a real doctor's note or is it from your mom?
A real one.
Is it from your mom?
She works at the nurse practitioner's office, but that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, you got real defensive on that one there, buddy.
I'm just saying.
Game, hey man, respect game.
It's a real doctor's note. It's from a real doctor.
It's from a real doctor. Not my doctor, but a real doctor. Maybe.
It worked out. It worked out in my favor.
There we go. Let's see. Tim's talk for $2, buddy. Thank you. Says this will be a banger. I'm hoping. I have a lot of hope for.
I hope it's good.
For
obviously,
a lot of this.
I'm going in with an open mind. I hope it's a good movie. If it's not, I'll be honest about that. And you know what? I think I will give credit to Mikey and Sil for this. I think they'll be honest. Hopefully, if they see the movie and they like it, or if they don't like it, I believe that that'll be their honest opinion. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think I do agree. I do agree with you on that one. I think if it might be a bit of hyperbole.
Well, a little bit of performative hyperbole, but yeah, that's the YouTube thing. You kind of put on an act a little bit sometimes, you know.
So I definitely understand that. I do feel, in essence, though, what we're gonna get out of this is a fantastic film. Matt Reeves is a great director. If you have not seen Cloverfield, check out, and not even like the Planet of the Apes movies, right? Like watch Let Me In.
Yeah.
Was a really good one. And then, again, then you have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. And those are both excellent. Dawn is amazing.
Extraordinary. Yeah. Both of them are fantastic.
And even though he didn't do Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Rise was also really good. But Dawn just kind of like amped it the fuck up. It just ratcheted things up.
It took it to the next level. I mean, dude, the opening shot where it's Caesar and the apes in the rain, the close up of the face. I mean, that was extraordinary.
Yeah.
And that's great news, by the way, DeGrassi, that IMAX has had its first profitable quarter since the beginning of the pandemic. That's good to hear.
Oh, good. Mo Moon here for $2 says no bullying Dwayne tonight and go watch Moonfall. I mean, I didn't feel the need to bring up Dwayne The Rock Johnson, so I don't need to bully him. And as for Moonfall, it will eventually be on streaming, and that's where I'll watch it.
I'm probably never going to watch it, to be honest. I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Oh, dude, no, I like those kind of movies, man. I do. I like movies that just destroy the whole.
I don't like movies that hurt my brain. How stupid they are.
Like, if you think about it, if you suspend disbelief for practically any superhero movie, you can suspend disbelief to watch Moonfall.
They're not as badly written, though. I can suspend my disbelief, but the dialogue in those movies, man, they're just so bad.
Well, okay, bad. Fine. I won't disparage you on that one because you're not entirely wrong. There's quite a bit of
the last Roland Emmerich movie I saw was 2012. I'm good.
Oh man, I love 2012. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but it's really so much fun.
It's really dumb, but it's okay. It's fun dumb, I guess.
It is. It's fun dumb. It's like, it's like you got Woody Harrelson as a crackpot, out there at the Caldera volcano on Yellowstone, and he's a conspiracy theorist, like from a van, broadcasting out to the internet, and then he ends up getting blown to shit. Like, that's just great.
His last broadcast where he confirms that, the world's ending. I was right.
Yeah, I was right. World's ending. Peace, bitches. I mean, I guess if there's no better mic drop moment for your life on that one, like, well, I'm going to die, but I'm dying right. I'm dying being right. And that is something that is not something to get mad about. But that being said, we are now at the 2 hour and near the 10-minute mark. I do see that there for Mo Moon. Thank you, buddy. It says, RJ, I made Moonfall and also star in it. Why the hate?
It looks bad. I'm sorry.
Yes. Also, the Batman here does say, remember Roland Emmerich did 10,000 BC. Here's the thing with 10,000 BC. All right. On its own, it's a shitty movie. But if you think about it as a prequel to Stargate, which it kind of is, it's less shitty.
I have never heard anyone say that before. I will have to reevaluate that movie now. I'm looking at it
Because they deal a lot with building the pyramids, and there's an alien race that's there in 10,000 BC.
Wait, aliens are in 10,000 BC?
Yes.
I had no clue. I have no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was just a caveman movie.
No, there's aliens.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. It's kind of, like I said, it's like a spiritual prequel to Stargate. That's the best way I can describe it. But it piques your fucking interest, dude. Right? It piques your fucking interest. That's how we do this shit. So there's that. But Patrick Childs here says, anyone plan to see the Batman multiple times in theaters?
I'm going to try. I know I'm going to go see it on March 1st at the fan event. I would like to see it opening weekend just to give my support to the film if I end up liking it. We will see, though. I'm going to try and see it at least twice, but we shall see.
Yeah, I think I'll do what I can. I know I'm going to the fan event. I've got a bunch of free I have the Cinemark movie pass, right? Or whatever, movie club.
List,
so I get like a ticket per month, and I have like about like 9 of them stacked up, you know? So I'm just like, I might go see it depending. I haven't even gone and seen Uncharted yet. So it's just difficult for me to get to the theaters.
Go see him 1-2 punch.
Kind of. I could. Well, no, I couldn't, because when I go see it, well, no, I mean, I could, because I'm seeing Batman on Tuesday, and then that hold on, I'm gonna look real quick, because you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna do a video response to or a video reaction to the Batman, and have that ready to go when I get done seeing the movie. But then I'm like, you know what I could do is then also come home and do a live stream about it, which I probably shouldn't do just yet.
Oh, I'm going live the moment I get home. That's my plan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's well, I mean, yeah, I'll
YouTube clicks, buddy.
Well, you're going to get home before I will, right? You're going to be home before I will.
Maybe mine is at 7:00 Central, so I'll be home around like 10:30 to 11 Central. As your screening also at 7?
Yeah, all the screenings are at 7:00.
Oh, but 7 for you specific. Oh yeah, you're gonna get home way late then. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be the thing. Right,
I'm gonna wear a very nice outfit, by the way. I got a nice outfit plan.
Why?
It's an event, man. I'm excited. I want to look nice and professional.
I'm gonna go in like fucking sweatpants and like a fucking like hoodie, and I'm gonna like sit back with my large popcorn and my drink.
Oh no,
I'm just gonna be comfy.
I'm wearing a very nice polo Batman shirt, some nice pants, some dress pants.
What, like you gonna like roll in there like a Mac Daddy pimp and be like, "Yo, what's up, bitches?"
Yeah, I ordered a Batman Rolex, to wear. Can wear a Batman hat,
Oh my god, man! The Batman here says outfit for screening. Yeah,
it's a fan event, man. It's a celebration of their fans. Gotta look nice and good.
Penson here says, "Will the Snyder Bros go, or are they afraid of Zack?" No, I think a lot of them are gonna go.
We'll see. I think by end of this week, probably early next week, we'll probably know what the box office projections are gonna look like more an accurate standpoint. Yeah. I'm guessing 120 to 130.
Oh yeah, probably. All right, though, here, guys. So that's going to be it for me right now. But here's what I will say. There is because I want to pay it forward. Tonight's been a good night, and we got 107 of you in here. Before you guys leave, please leave a like and feel free to head on over to the Poindexter Lounge, because they're going to go for a few more hours, and there's a link right there.
Yeah, show them some love.
Show them some love. Let's raid them. They've got 29 people. We've got over 100. Raid them. Tell them I sent you. Just say HWAD Squad represent. HWAD Squad. They'll know what's up. They'll welcome you with open arms. And we'll be back on tomorrow night for another episode of Hollywood After Dark. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you, RJ. See you guys later, and peace.